gamers, and welcome to episode 482 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for January 25th, 2025. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on, Dominic?
Man, there's been a lot going on, man, for these couple of weeks. I keep forgetting to put the podcast on Facebook, but we still get viewers up there. Yeah.
Those old people love us, Dominic.
Yeah.
That's why we got to tone down the old hate rhetoric.
And there's something broken with the Facebook one, because I posted on mine, and then I say, hey, do you want to post it on the SuperPod one too? Mm-hmm. So it does it at the same time without me having to keep going to the other page. Yeah. But the problem is that one time I looked over there, I was like, I don't see none of the podcast. I see months. I was missing months. And I was like, what's going on? And I think it was a glitch that they weren't going over, but they were going over that time. I thought at first I was thinking all of them didn't go over that did that. So I'm like, God, has it been I've been doing this and nothing's been going over? But nah, some did. I don't know what happened. Some glitch and something, and I was like,
get on that.
One day
Zuck.
I'll go back. Yeah, I got
time to be at the inauguration. You need to be down there in the weeds fixing this stuff.
Yeah, inauguration happened, man. A lot of sports stuff happened too.
Yeah.
And fire is still happening in California, but it seems to be getting somewhat better, depending on who you ask, I guess. It's been crazy this month, man. This new year has been. It's like things just went off, man. Just went pretty
new
fast.
Year, same old shit, Dominic.
Yeah, I must say, hey, I hope this year is good. I guess it depends where you are on the spectrum here, where you at. All right, so I'll start with sports, of course, and by the time you hear this podcast, the Washington Commanders will have been. And there will be one of the teams in the Super Bowl by the time you hear this podcast. So
it's quite possible.
I am thrilled. I mean, it's crazy that they even got this far. I mean, I was just happy.
Truly confirming we're in the worst timeline, Dominic.
To just be in a playoff. I was like, oh, this team just got a rookie quarterback, took it to the playoffs. So that's good. That's good for the future. And then they won the first game, and then they go in and beat the number one seed in the NFC, and they scored a ton of points, and game was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, hey, babe, at some point, because I was at a bar watching this, and man, people were just going crazy in there. And there were some Lions fans, because one guy I actually seen wearing a Lions jersey, and then some other people who were cheering, but I didn't see them wearing no gear or anything. And come to find out, they were here for the inauguration. I know one because I was with my sister's friends from a job, and I know one of them was she didn't like that. She didn't like I was like, how you don't even know them? You know who they are, but it's I guess it's only enough for them to know that they go to inauguration and they gotta be something. But no, I know a guy who came with us. I know he went over there he was getting high fives to people when we got a touchdown, and he just pretend he didn't know that they were Lions fans, so he's running to give high fives. And then he told him, and he started talking to him and stuff like that. But no, they were cool. He said they were cool.
He got invited to the inauguration. It was nice.
Yeah. He got to sit next to Vivank in the back.
All the way in the back, huh?
Yeah. So, but anyway, no, he actually got better seats. He got better seats to help. So, but anyway, yeah. It was just so crazy. It was just you couldn't believe it. Even a lot of people were saying oh my God, we actually can win this. And it's like we have a chance to win. In the fourth quarter lead, it's oh my God, we could do this. And then it happens, and then it's just you're all excited, and then it's oh my God, man, we are going to the NFC Championship game. We're only one game away from the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I said, this is crazy. We got here before the Cowboys did. Before the Cowboys, since the Cowboys been there, we got there before they did. Cowboys had teams that were they were number one, ranked number one, and they had teams that people had picked to go to the Super Bowl. And they have never been to the NFC Championship game since, 95, 96, I forget whatever year it was. I'm like, this is crazy. I said, and we just get here with the rookie quarterback, with the team that has like a rank 18th defense. It's not like we're like a great team.
Yeah.
Every team we played against had better rosters than us. And that's why with the Eagles, I just hear people say, like, there's no chance they can win this. Like, the Eagles are so much better. I'm like, everybody was better than us. Like, I don't care. As long as Jaden Daniels is playing, it's like we have a chance to win. I mean, that's it. That's what it is in the NFL. Like, if you have a great quarterback, you have a chance. You have a chance. In today's NFL. Defense was a thing. I mean, it's still and still is, because Philly's offense hasn't looked like it used to. The running game is great. Like, you have a running game because they got Saquon Barkley, who's the best running back right now. Mm-hmm. Running game and defense, that gives you a chance. And if you have a great quarterback, that gives you a chance. So they got a great defense and a great running back. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, I think it's going to be close, but I think we're going to somehow figure out how to win. That's what I'm thinking. They're going to figure out somehow to win. Hurts hasn't been playing great because I think he's injured, but he's playing with the injury and things. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in that game. But like I said, I think we're going to win. So yes, by the time you hear this, be like, oh yeah, they won, and he was right. So it won't feel out of place. But yeah, and then on the other side, you got Kansas City versus Bills. Now, it's unfortunate the Ravens that they lost to the Bills.
Yeah.
That was a disappointment, man. We could have got the I-695 bowl or something like that. But for us anyway, we go on I-695. But still, and it's still technically a I-95 bowl with Philly and us. Yeah. So it's like, but still, yeah, you couldn't get to, not gonna be no Ravens Commanders Bowl. And it was just turnovers.
Yeah,
like that's what killed it. Like all the teams that won didn't turn the ball over, and I think Texans didn't even turn the ball over against Kansas City, but they made mistakes. They had a block field goal or something like that. Because I didn't see all that game. Turnovers hurt the Ravens. I mean, early on, Lamar fumbled, they threw an interception. Mm-hmm. That wasn't great, but the second half, they were looking great. Good. Because it's like, okay, they finally got things moving. They got the groove back, and they're moving, and then Andrews fumbled. Oh, my God, that fumble hurt us. But we got the ball back to still have a chance to tie it, and that got the touchdown, but we didn't get the 2-point conversion, and his hands fell out.
Yeah.
I know he has to feel awful, man, but I kind of wish it shouldn't even came to that. I think the Ravens were the better team to me. They were the better team. I mean, what Josh Allen did, the quarterback for the Bills, is that like people say, well, Darren, he really do much. Yeah, exactly. He didn't turn the ball over. He did what he had to do.
I mean, he did a lot. He's running that fucking ball in too.
Well, I mean that wasn't. I mean, okay. I guess you think it's a lot. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's all right. I think he did all right. It wasn't enough to like the Ravens didn't turn the ball over. They would have won.
Oh yeah, he wasn't showing out necessarily, but he showed up.
That's what I'm saying. That it. Well, yeah, okay, but I just think that. He got away with it. Yeah. I just think if the ball wasn't with the line, if it was on the line, like if the Ravens would have got that, I don't think he could have gone down. I don't think he could have gone down the field.
Yeah.
If they had to. That's the thing. I think he didn't want to mess up, and he did his job. I mean, he did. Yeah, everything he did was safe, and it was good. I mean, it worked, and they ran the ball. See, if the Ravens could have stopped their run, that really would have killed them.
Yeah.
But they couldn't. That was really one of the bad things. And Ravens wasn't running early. They weren't running early, but they were running later on. They started really running. But like I said, turnovers, it kills it. It kills everything. It makes the flow. It makes the flow just go away because Ravens, they should have scored a lot. I mean, they look like they could easily just move the ball, but then there's just something just goes wrong, and it's like, man, it sucks. And I mean, Bills they're a good team. I mean, they were the number 2 seed by record-wise, and like I think they can beat the Chiefs because I think both those teams were technically better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are just a team that they can play like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
The script can be
wherever
written
the
for them to
situation
win.
is, they play with wherever the situation is. They can adapt to it. That's what it seems like. Whatever's going on in the game, they will adapt, and they just win, and they win, and they don't turn over at crucial moments, and they don't mess up at like inopportune times. Like they will take when you mess up, they will take advantage of it. They will take the opportunity to make something happen. That's like what they are. Like they don't look that incredible like they used to. They used to be like a prolific offense. Like they score fast. I mean, they did have like one of the best wide receivers, Tyreek Hill. Like ever since they lost him, they've been okay on offense, and they just been okay. But the defense has gotten better. They've been focusing on defense, and the defense is good. Defense has been keeping them in games, even when they don't score. So that's why they're what were they? 15-2. And technically, they'd probably be 16-1 if they didn't just give away that last game. So in the Texas game, I know some people were saying some ref stuff. Like I didn't watch the whole game, so I can't really say. I know a lot of people were saying there were bad calls though.
Yeah, there
in that
definitely
game.
were.
And it's just like people just saying how the Chiefs could keep getting away with it. And I know I was listening to one in the podcast, and they were just saying that. Yeah, it looks bad. It does looks bad for the NFL to see this, but the guy was saying like, what would be the why would the NFL want the Chiefs to win though? Like, what's the what do they get out of it? Do they get like the Chiefs winning all these games?
Get 3P merchandise.
Yeah, that's what the guy was asking, and I don't really have an answer for that. But I just figured that dynasty people like dynasties. I thought that's what I thought. I thought that was a thing. Because it seemed like it doesn't seem like ratings go worse when dynasties happen. And the Chiefs seem to be really popular in Mahomes, but it makes Mahomes look like a bad guy because Mahomes was a really likable dude, like he was. But now, like with the ref thing, like because you saw on the sidelines when he did a flop, like he was hit like in bounds, but it was close. And he just did like a flop out of bounds to make it look like he got hit. And it's like, see, like I never blame him for what the refs do because like he can't. I say, well, he can't control them. But now I see now when people see that they're like, oh, you should manipulate the refs because I mean, look. At the end of the day, some people say you can't really blame him because if he sees that they're just doing this, it's like, well, then fine, I'm going to
take advantage of it.
Yeah. And that's okay. But you're a dick. I just say that. I said that's fine. I mean that's fine, but you're a dick too. Also, I mean that's just pretty fucked up. I mean you can still do that though. You can still do that, and like that's fine. Like look, everybody does it. Like well, basketball and soccer do it a hell of a lot more than football. Yeah, it's just like man, that sucks. Like I don't even like when my player would do it or something like that. If my player does that, I acknowledge when it's like a bad call on my team. Everybody gets bad calls. Like every team gets bad calls. I know some people say it just seems like the Chiefs always seem to get them, and and it's not really about the calls. It's when they happen. Because some Chiefs fans will say like, "Oh, we got this many calls," but it's like, "Yeah, you got them like the first half." So like they come the second half, do it. But honestly, I'm like, I don't know. I only this year because I still told you I wasn't watching any Chiefs games like this year. like I only watched I watched the first game against the Ravens. I watched one because I was with my mom and she likes the Chiefs. It was I know the last game I watched, which was bullshit. The one they just put out their freaking third string guys and practice squad guys and people off the street and had like Broncos just destroyed them because they were like, we're resting. But yeah, I don't know. I think I watched one more game. I think I watched one Chiefs game. It wasn't the Bills Chiefs game when the Bills beat them. I didn't watch that one. I think it's one more. But like, yeah. The one on Christmas Day. I watched that one. The Steelers and No, that was a Christmas Day. Chiefs and yeah, well, it was Steelers and Chiefs.
Steelers.
Yeah. Because Ravens played the Texans. So yeah, that's the only one. Only 3 games I watched because I said like I'm not gonna watch this team. I was like I already because I said I already know they're gonna win. So I don't like watching things I already know was gonna happen. So I didn't care. They lost to the Bills. Like that's their one true loss. I'm like, oh well. Like Bills, it only matters if you beat them in the playoffs because y'all keep losing to them. So this is the chance. Bills, I think they have a better team that they can beat. They show they can beat the Chiefs. So they go in Arrowhead. I mean, I think it went away. I mean, I don't think that's the problem because and plus you can't say it's cold because they cold up there. So it's like either way. So that doesn't even matter. So like I said, like Arrowhead. I mean, even though it's a loud crowd and stuff like that, I don't think that's not gonna be the factor into if they lose. But I think the Bills can win. I think it would be Commanders versus Bills, which some people say that's what most of America wants because they don't want to see Eagles versus Chiefs again. And then people don't like Eagles fans. Yeah. And it's not so much the Eagles team. Like that's the thing. I never grew up hating Eagles, and I never even when I knew about the Eagles fans, I never really hated them. I thought because I used to like Don McNabb. I used to like those teams and stuff like that. Yeah. But now with the internet, you get to see people talk and stuff, and so they talk a lot of shit, and they just irritate me. It's like, you know what, fuck it, man. It's like, I hope we just whip your ass. It's like, I mean, we might not whip your ass, but I hope just y'all losing would be good enough because it's like y'all lost to an inferior team with a rookie quarterback in your face. So yeah, I even said it because I said I kind of wanted to see them in the first round. And it's like, oh, we see them now, and this is good. This builds rivalries, man. It's like you play with your division rival in an NFC game, NFC Championship game. Like Washington's done that in the past, but like before my time, really. Like, I wasn't really watching football then. I mean, I've seen it with the Ravens and the Steelers. They have done it. So yeah, those things, man, become huge. So yeah, I can't wait for this. I can't wait till we beat them. And by the time you hear this, you already know the answer to what happened. Yeah. They won, and I don't know who I mean, I think the Bills will win. I think the Bills will. I don't think the Kansas City is going to three-peat. But if it is Kansas City, it would be. I'm just waiting for them to come on, Dan. You gotta copyright this. The Commanders and Chief Bowl. The Commanders and Chief Bowl. That means the president Donald Trump has to come to the game. That's what it's gonna be, man. That'll be awesome. And plus, it'd be cool. Jayden Daniels, rookie, going against Pat Mahomes, who is in his prime, the best quarterback in the league right now. So, yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
That
too.
Would be a hell of a narrative. But we saw what happened that last time that narrative happened. Tom Brady came out. So
yeah, Tom Brady was even in the. He
so
was
that means
goddamn
Mahomes
40s.
Going over, Dominic. Sorry.
He was 40s. He was in his 40s, man, doing that, and that's the only reason why That's when I went down Park to Mahomes. I didn't even like him as much.
Yeah, because
he lost to Tom Brady. He pissed me off, and I know people say injuries happen. I mean, how convenient that it had to happen then at that time. So yes, I blame him on not being in shape then. Shit. Anyway. But yeah, it's just that did really piss me off. But yeah, also another narrative be like, oh look, we had to get our names changed because it was called Redskins and that was a good name Americans, but y'all get the cute name Chiefs. Which hey, that's not bad, but Chiefs do the tomahawk thing, that just be really loud and stuff. Oh, well, I mean, come on. But so it's like you bastards. It's like I mean I can't hate them. I mean it's just I don't hate them for that though. I just like to just speak on how the hypocrisy of like how they really went hard at us and the Indians and stuff like that. I just felt like, man, if we were winning Super Bowls, they wouldn't touch us.
Yeah,
because we sucked.
you were an easy target.
Okay, yeah, the Chiefs were winning. But and hockey is like we're all white. We don't give a fuck. Like we're not going to lose anything. It's like no minorities watch us anyway. So that's why the Blackhawks get to keep it. And Atlanta, the Braves, Well, they did stop the tomahawk. Like they stopped the jumbotron stuff doing it.
Yeah. Stopped encouraging it.
Yeah. But the fans still do it. The fans will do it. But
yeah, I mean, that's hard to rein in. Unless you just have
you can't do that.
Videos of the fan favorite players, saying like, "Hey guys, we really shouldn't be doing this anymore,"
Yeah,
and then fans will probably just turn on them, honestly, and then.
Oh no, yeah, they will. They will turn on you.
All my favorite players have wronged me, Dominic.
Oh, they will quickly turn on you, man. I mean, hell, they turn on people just for like just. That's what I say. I want no politics. Like, you don't want to hear about anybody, even their affiliation. But I was like. I mean, you can do that, but that's kind of hard. I mean, like if somebody just asked me a question just about like what's a problem that you want to solve, you're like, oh yeah, I want something like the government to help us with this, blah blah. You think obviously like, well, he can't be a Republican because he wants some big government. Boo! He wants to be Obama lover or something. But it's like, dude. I mean, like I like for me, I never really took that to heart unless it was something that's hurtful that they were for. That was really hurtful. But like I was like, oh yeah, they're Republicans. So okay, yeah, I don't believe that, but he better go hit a home run for my team or get a touchdown. I don't care. But yeah, so what's going on? Oh yeah, well, okay. What else happening? NBA. I'm not paying attention to that. I know Washington is the only team I think that has not won 10 games yet. Jesus. So yeah, we're doing it. So look, oh yeah, because look, it was Washington had lost. They played on the same day. The Wizards played on the same day as the Commanders, and they were playing at the same time too. And I was like, damn, man, I know what are the TV ratings for this game in the DC area? This gotta be like one. So like they lost. But Jordan Poole, he did break a record for the most threes as a Wizard.
Oh wow!
I mean, come on, man, they ought to shoot three. I'm surprised. I was like, darn, man, like I'm surprised. Somebody should have had that record like some weeks ago, maybe. So I was like, but no, but like that's I guess it's cool. But they lost, and so it's like everyone's like, oh, it's a good day for everybody, because the Wizards losing. Like you want them to lose because you want them to get their first draft, like the first pick of the draft, and then the also of course Commanders winning, going to the championship. But yeah, they still suck. Baseball season, man, Dodgers are just buying everybody. Like Dodgers are just got the super team, and here's the thing: like I get confused on with people, because like I was looking at this show. And they were saying, "Is Dodgers ruining baseball?" And then the guys were arguing how they're not ruining it. Your team, the teams, like cause fans are saying like, "Oh, they're doing this, they're ruining baseball." And they said the team say, "Look, you can go buy, you can get these guys too. Like, is that fair if they can afford it? It's like, it's not like these other teams can't afford to get them. Like they're just, hey, you just got the owners have to just put up the money for them. But they're not even talking." I was like, who are you talking to? Because that's what they're saying. They were saying, like, that the teams can get them, that they can put the money up to get them. They can do, all these other things to help get players to come to their teams. Like, it's not the Dodgers' fault. But I was wondering, like, I hear that in multiple places. Like, even fans say that. Like, well, Dodger fans. Mm-hmm. And some other baseball fans, too. Like, they say, like, look, they say, you can't mad because we spend money to get the guys. I mean... y'all make money too. Y'all get like so much money for these. I guess whatever luxury tax or something. I don't know. No, because the luxury tax is something where they get to try to help for teams don't be able to just buy teams. But the Dodgers, they found a way. They defer money, so they have to pay for like a lot of years later to some of these players. But it's TV deals, like the TV deals and stuff, and like I think that like the top teams have to pay off to the smaller markets or something like that. I don't know. So you always get some type of money somewhere. But I'm like, are you talking to the owners or are you talking to the fans? Because I can't do anything about how my team spends money.
Yeah.
Like, all I see is that the Dodgers are buying up teams, and no, it's not good for baseball. Like, if my team is not getting players, look, I'm not blaming the Dodgers. I'm just the situation is not good though. You have to you have to recognize that. Like, if you just this one team is able, because like there's a for the overseas, like they have an international day when they get signed free agents. And the Dodgers got like quite a few guys from Japan. Well, top guys. They got top guys from Japan. And thing is, well, first of all, I think the international should be a draft. Like, I don't think that's fair that anybody overseas can just be a free agent and go to any team they want. Mm-hmm. While people in America, you got to be drafted
right
to a team. It should be a draft everywhere. I don't think that's fair. Yes, I don't think it should be open to the open market. I think it should be just they have to enter a draft because that's how you make it, and that's how you keep it at least close to being fair. Just one thing, free agency happens, team with the most money, and then Dodgers has a deal. Apparently, Dodgers have a deal where the TV deal that they did years ago, they did like some TV deal that made them just so much money. Like, they just get so much more money than anybody else in their TV deal that nobody can, so they have tons of money. And some fans say, well, it's not our fault that our owners were smart with their money. I said, that's the thing. I said, I'm not blaming them. No one's blaming the owners for being what they are. It's just that who's going to fucking care if the one team has all the players? He has all great players, and your team they now have a chance. Now people would say that, hey, the number one team or the team with the highest payroll don't win all the time. That's true. No, they don't. But they get there. They have a chance. They have a chance to. That's the thing. That's the whole point. It's not that you're guaranteed a win. It's that you guaranteed a chance. But you're almost guaranteed a chance. Unless you just really fuck up. Like, there's some teams that they spend so much money and then those guys just don't pan out. And they have to still pay them. So there's that. But here, it's like, yo, you're going to have a chance, though. You're not guaranteed to win. No, you're not. And, like, yeah, it's going to be like one of those days where you lose and somebody says, oh, yeah, we beat the team who had highest payroll. They were number one. And, yeah, that's great. But you know what? You're always there, though. That's the thing. I would love to have a team that is always in the postseason. But I don't know what the Orioles will have a chance to do that. I mean, it's bad enough we got the Yankees in here. And now I'm just hoping the guys we have just become a whole lot better so we can stay good. But, yeah, for like the small market team, well, we're a small market. And then like Tampa Bay or something like that, or like what's another small market team we got? Athletics. What the fuck going on with them? They trying to get to Las Vegas. They don't even really got a real home now. They're in Sacramento. Like for all those teams, and like it's like they can never be consistent. Like they'll maybe one day to make a run, but then it's like, okay, then they'll just suck. And then but you're always gonna see, like, if you got a team with some money or something like that, they always like competing. They're always there. And the Dodgers, like, ever since like they had sold that team some years ago, when that owner had divorced, I don't even know what the story fucking was with that. But ever since the team had done that, these owners who are with the Dodgers now, they got money, and then they got that, like I said, the TV deal that happened that just gives so much money. It just makes the sport like it's like, come on, man. It's like I was loving baseball again. Like Yankees weren't like really buying up everybody, as they usually do. Like they'll get some players, but it wasn't big. But now it's like, yo, this ain't cool, and I don't know. It's something that baseball has to deal with. It's like, no, I'm not blaming. Like, nobody's ever saying they blame the team. Like, it makes people sound stupid. Like, they say, like, oh, they shouldn't get it. Like, if even they could do it. You know what I mean? It should be like a rule. Like, it should be something that really make it hard for you to do that. Like, first, the international. Like I said, I don't know why baseball had it like that. Wait, internationally, it's just a free agent? I'm like, come on, man. I say, nah, man. Those people got into the draft. They gotta get something like an option for everybody to have a chance to get those players. and you can't just keep the people up top just still eating. Yeah. All right. That's all I have to say. You got anything to say about wrestling?
Just a little bit. We are, winding down to the Royal Rumble. I think that's only like a week away at this point.
And that's on Peacock?
And that's on Peacock, yeah. I don't know about internationally if that's something that you can watch on Netflix.
We don't care, Daniel.
Yeah.
It's all about America over here.
I'm just thinking about VPNs, though. That's all. Yeah, I still don't quite understand that whole deal. But yeah, that'll be available on Peacock here. They're also, tonight, as of recording this on Saturday, they're doing another Saturday night's main event that's going to be on CBS. And that's got some fun matches on there. But really, it's kind of weird because, like, the world title match, Gunther versus Jey Uso, is like, okay, that's the world title match, but there's a good chance that Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, who are just having like a segment about their match leading up to at the Royal Rumble, is probably going to main event it because like Shawn Michaels is going to be overseeing the contract signing or whatever. And that's kind of silly. I mean, you aren't going to get many opportunities for when you have double champions and not two distinct like pay-per-views for shows like they were doing at one point during the brand split. Like, you're not going to get many opportunities for a guy like Gunther with his title to main event, and this would be like the perfect opportunity for that. So hopefully that's not what they're going to end up doing. But yeah, it'll be fun tonight, but nothing really too much to say. I'm watching more wrestling now that it is available on the streaming services, but it's just not a lot to necessarily talk about at the moment. So that's all I got.
Oh, I'm sorry. Darn, I wish you was kept talking, Dang. I was reading something. All right. All right. So, all right. So this is bad. Like, this is like the newsroom, and guy like looked at his phone. He was like, "Oh shit, he done death." He's like, all right. So we get to what we've been watching. So I watched a couple movies. I saw Den of Thieves. It wasn't by choice, but I watched it, and it was
been
okay.
Seeing
though.
that advertised. Who's in that one?
Well, you've been seeing the first one. I mean, the second one. The second one's out now.
Gotcha.
Den of Thieves 2. This came out 2018, I want to say. So it's been a while. And
okay.
Yeah, it was some reason. I don't know why I clicked on the article because I didn't really care, but I did because I guess Google found out I looked up something for Den of Thieves, and they started putting Den of Thieves stuff up there, and then they said, "Why it takes so long for this movie to come out?" And I'm just thinking, like I said, I hope it don't take this long for part 3 to come out. And I'm thinking, like, well, oh, you like this movie? I'll say, okay. Because I'm thinking, like, who the fuck cares? I was but I think that's why I clicked on it. I was like, is that good? Because I thought 1 was okay. But yes, Den of Thieves, it was COVID. That was the reason. Like, COVID and some injuries and shit. But anyway, Den of Thieves 1, it's about a bank heist. These guys creating this huge heist. And O'Shea, which is which we call
Ice
it
Cube's son, yeah.
Ice Cube's son, and O'Shea Jr. I should say he's in it. Also, Gerard Butler is in it. He plays a cop, like a pretty like he plays like one of those tough SWAT guys. Almost, it kind of reminds you of what we call it. What's it? The Shield, like a Shield. Almost seems like a Shield type of
Vic
dude.
Mackey.
Yeah.
No nonsense.
He's not. Well, I want to say he's not exactly dirty, but he's on the. He's on the line. He's like there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like there. He might mean, but he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't trying to steal money. He's going at these guys. But so yeah, and O'Shea is working with the guys who are actually doing the thieving. But he's like just basically the driver though, so they use him to basically try to get to know what they're doing. Like they got him, like he's the weak link, and said like, "Hey, tell us what's going on" and stuff like that. And because he's seen like the odd man out from the group because of his record compared to theirs, so Oh yeah, I forgot 50 Cent was in there too. Yeah. And but yeah, it was okay. They went to steal from I don't know what's the place called, like the places where all the government money is, something like the government,
the Treasury.
not government. Yeah, the Treasury. Yeah, that's what it goes. Like, the hardest place to go. I was like, oh, we did this in Grand Theft Auto. But anyway, and that's what I was saying. It's like, oh, this is Grand Theft Auto mission. But yeah, so that's what it was. It was okay. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, even though my sister was always pointing out some like inaccuracies. Like, this doesn't make sense. I say, Don, it's not a great movie. It's like of course it's going to be. And she's like, how did he know to do that? So it's in the script. That's why they know. They read the script. But no, it was okay. And I was looking up Den of Thieves 2, and I think it's a pretty decent. I forget what I looked up
60
there.
on Rotten Tomatoes, a 6.6 on IMDb.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good then. I mean, for this type of movie,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Rotten.
Yeah,
honestly.
because this definitely looks like a movie that in most cases would just be a Netflix movie.
Yeah, well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about those Netflix movies, Daniel, they used to be in theaters.
Yeah, some of them did. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like story wise, they were fine for a theater, but it was just like the quality of the action and stuff wasn't probably great on Netflix. Even though Netflix has been getting better with that, because I think the money that Netflix spend on these things is a lot more than what we usually get in TV movies like that. So then they're spending like a lot of money. I mean, I know they're supposed to be hopefully helping out my man Quaid. That's it, Quaid. No, not this Quaid. What's his name? What's the guy who did Horizon? Because I always get them mixed. I get Kim mixed up with Quaid, and another actor too. I get them
It's
all
not
mixed
Val
up.
Kilmer, is it?
No. Val Kilmer can't even move no more, man. What are you talking about?
Oh shit, yeah, not who I'm thinking of. Damn it, why can't I think of his name now?
Oh my god. Okay, I'll look it up. Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner. Yes. Yeah, because he's having trouble with the movie, his pet project there, the Horizon series, and like he spent a lot of his own money, but it's not making no money. So they say they got some people looking at it on Netflix. So because 2 supposed to had an announcement date or came out, but it never did. And it's ready. It's like, that sucks. All right, you better get with Donald Trump, man. Tell him it's like a Greek American film, man. Straight from America. All right. Oh, and I also finally watched Doom 2. It took me months to see this movie. I've been watching it in pieces. And I finally
That doesn't sound promising then.
No, because there's always something that comes up. Something that comes up every time I start it. And I just was able to just sit down. Well, because I never get the feeling, because I know for a while, I just didn't care about watching any movies. I just didn't care about sitting down watching a movie. If like every time I sat down, I kept thinking like, I either play a video game or watch a game, or it'll be some sports show on. And something like some type of sport to watch, and I'll just do that. Or I watch like maybe a TV series or something, but I never just sat down and watched a movie. So I finally just said, I'm going to finish watching Dune 2. And yeah, because I looked at through the Oculus headset, through that movie screen thing. And yeah, man, Dune 2 was good. I thought, it was definitely better than the first one.
Yeah.
Like, it was really good, really well done. I mean, the action was good. The story was pretty good. I'm curious where this goes, because I'm like, okay, am I supposed to be liking the direction he's going in this, or am I not supposed to like it?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be on Zendaya's side, even though I don't understand what side? And that's why I have to go back, because I'm very confused. I'm like, what does she want him to do? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what she want him to do, because she wants them to, she wants to beat these guys.
Yeah.
I was like, well, technically he did.
But she doesn't want him to sacrifice everything to do it?
Now I understand. Yeah, but now I mean I get the obvious part when he said he's gonna be with that woman because of her status.
Yeah.
Because she was the emperor's daughter, and now he's the emperor, and like they just be together, and then But yeah, I had to look that up. There's a lot of things I had to look on because I think I just sort of miss. Yeah, but no, it was yeah. I did enjoy it overall. I did enjoy it. I'm upset. I'm mad that Christopher Walken didn't he didn't yeah he did live. He kissed the ring. Oh, so he did live. So yeah, he's only who's oh yeah. I was kind of wanting the blob. I wanted the blob to still last out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, who's gonna be the big bad for the next one? Like, who's the man? I know he's going after the houses. I wonder who's gonna be at the other houses.
The bald guy is still like the nephew or whatever. He's still alive, right?
He killed him. He
did?
fought him in a one-on-one battle.
Right. Yeah.
One-on-one fight
At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was a little surprised that they got rid of him so quick.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was gonna be. He was gonna be a bigger character.
Yeah.
Because like I thought it could be like some type of like not really arch enemy, but like something with Tillman and the main guy like going at each other. But they just went at you there. That was it. That was their fight. It was a good fight. I liked it. I liked the hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was, and or maybe she doesn't want things to go exactly like the prophecy. Like, stop following what they say you are. Like,
yeah.
But he was saying that. He was saying like, "Hey, I'm not." Yeah, but it's almost like he's embracing it. Now.
Yeah, I think I wonder if part of it is like him playing into that, or if he actually
that's
believes
what
that he has
thinking.
to go that way to make it happen.
Because I was thinking like
it's a long con.
Like he doesn't really believe it, and that's what he keep telling her like, "Hey, like I love you as long as I breathe." Oh god, sound like a fucking love story. Fuck. But I think he maybe that's what I was thinking. Like maybe he's just playing the part, but eventually something's gonna happen. He's gonna do something that he can be with her or something.
Yeah.
They can live in their little oasis. But whatever. But yeah, it's a good movie. I like it. So I don't know when did they announce when Dune? They got the already like announced date ready for it or not?
Let's see, Dune 3.
It says 2026 up here, but December 16th, 2026 up here. I don't know that's official up here for Google, but I see that.
That feels like a real enough date around the time that would come out.
Yeah. Is it going to be called Messiah? Or that's just what this fake trailer is?
Probably just that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve says Dune 3 is not like a trilogy and will be his last Dune movie. So it's not like a trilogy, but there are going to be 3 of these movies, Dominic.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
It means it's not going to actually end, and then the studio is just going to keep running with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have quite a few names in here, man. Yeah, because I thought that guy was dead. Josh Brolin. When I saw him, I was like, oh,
yeah,
he's still alive. I say that's good. Because I was upset that whatchamacallit died from the first one. Aquaman.
Yeah. Dakota Johnson or whatever his name is in the movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who was the bald kid. I'm trying to see who he was, like, as an actor.
I'd
based on these pictures, I don't see anybody young.
Because I looked him up.
I gotta know his name. Because based on these pictures, I don't. Oh,
Austin Butler, I think. Yeah, he looks completely different with hair.
Austin Butler, that's his name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he's the one that played Elvis.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of weird. He was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, he was the one that I think he got his balls bit by the dog. Yeah. Yep, and Bike Riders. That's right, because I seen some of Bike Riders. I never did finish that movie.
What movie was that? Bike Riders.
The Bike Riders. It's not really a documentary. It's about a documentary that was done.
Okay. It's got Tom Hardy in it.
So I guess we get to what we're playing. So what you been playing, man?
All right, so I've been continuing playing the games I talked about a couple weeks ago when we last recorded. Duck Detective. I did want to go back and give this a little bit of credit. It does have a mode where it will highlight when you get the answers right in the kind of word searchification of the puzzle solving. But I still, like, to me, that just feels like, okay, then I'm going in and I've gotten all the clues and I'm still having trouble, like, figuring this out. If then I'm just kind of, like, swapping in answers, like, until I get that green light. And then it's like, oh, yeah, this happened. And I just, again, maybe it's just my inability to, solve these problems or, because everybody here, hear talking about it is like, oh yeah, it's a great game. So like clearly they're solving these puzzles themselves, I would assume. So I just feel a little stupid playing it, honestly. And then thank goodness you're here. I gotta give it a little more credit too. It's still not like doing a whole lot for me, but I do want to finish it just because it doesn't sound like it's that long of an experience. I gotta be super close to the end at this point after the second play session. I don't know if it's second. Yeah, I think it's the second one. But still, it mostly just relies on like visual gags and you kind of clicking with this humor, and it's really not doing much for me in that department.
You just ain't no such a humor, Daniel.
It's just doesn't gel with the Brits, Dominic. But I did go back to Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown. I was pretty determined to get past the boss where I had basically stopped playing the game because it felt like it was impossible. I found myself looking up videos to see like what people were doing to block some of the moves, and it helped out a lot. I was able to finally get through that after still quite a few tries. And now I'm progressing. I've beaten another boss, and now I'm on to another boss that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. I'm very close. Like, I'm on the cusp of beating it, so it feels like that thing where it's like, I can do this now. It's not like I just can't do it, like I'm in the wrong place or something like that. It's just like getting all the skills together and with the occasional amount of like RNG luck that I'm going to overcome. Although I have seen like some people recommend different, what are they called? I want to say amulets. You get different like power ups or augmentations, I guess, to your powers. And I've seen people recommend some different ones. So I might go down that path and see. I just, in the Metroidvania format, I like, in like the Metroid series, I usually typically, as I progress, get to a point where like weaker enemies, I'm basically like one or two shotting, and it's also a shooter usually, so you're not really getting that close to enemies. Whereas this game, it's all melee combat, and it's very good. Like they did a good job with the feel of this. You have your parries, you have your dodges. It feels well fleshed out as a combat system, but I would just love to be able to run through some of these enemies, one slash them and then move on. I don't want to like engage with each of the enemies as I'm just trying to backtrack to a save point or something like that. And I think that part of that is why I'm having a slightly more negative reaction to this game than I would have expected necessarily. It also feels like maybe it's a little too big. Like, I got to this part where it's like, okay, now you're going to go to these 4 different areas, and like they pull up the map and they show me where these areas are, and they're like halfway the distance of the map off of the map. And I'm like, why did this area just get that much bigger? It doesn't need to be like this. But it actually didn't turn out to be too bad. And I will say, like, some of the platforming in this, it's like Guacamelee levels of like, they expect you to actually be really good at this. It's not just like you're gonna get lucky and get through some of these jumps. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with like Guacamelee, when they had you turning off like transferring the different dimensions and stuff while you're having to use your like charging power or whatever like that. It's kind of like that, where you're having to do like a dash and then a double jump, and then you're having to use your like shadow thing where you get transported back to the shadow, and just like all at once in these pretty short form bursts. And like I could see that in like gathering extra like bonus materials to upgrade or something like that, but for it to be part of the critical path, I'm actually a little bit surprised by, and I wonder how many people have been turned off by like the difficulty aspect of that, because one of the things with this is like whenever you hit spikes, it's not like a ouch and then you bounce back up to a platform, or a ouch and you bounce back up to the pole that you were swinging on like that. It's a hard restart at the last like ground you touched, which I could see being pretty aggravating for people. I've luckily been able to get through most of the encounters that I've had so far without too much trouble, but I could definitely see it becoming frustrating in the same way that I've struggled a little bit with the bosses, but still a good game, still, you know, looking forward to finishing it. Might check out the DLC. It sounds like some of the stuff in there is pretty intricate too, but they also take your powers away in the DLC apparently, so it sounds like maybe that's not a wait until you're done the game and then play DLC. It's maybe you should just play this as early as you can if you're into this game DLC. So I don't know if that's something I should just jump into now, or at this point, because I'm so used to having these powers and want to continue to finish the game with these powers and feeling comfortable with them, if I should just continue on, and then if I do feel the need to go back, get that DLC after the fact. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So wait a minute. So do you recommend Duck Detective?
If you've tried something like Case of the Golden Idol, which is a lower point of entry, just because like if you have Netflix, you can get that game on your phone or like an Android thing or an iPhone thing. Or if you have like Game Pass, you can try that out. Duck Detective is a little like family friendlier. There's not as much like a gruesome looking murder in it, which is one of the problems with me playing Case of the Golden Idol, like around the family.
Wait a minute, isn't that like all pixelated?
It is, but it's in that style of like almost like a Ren and Stimpy style almost.
Oh,
where it's just like exaggerated grossness. So yeah, it's a very ugly game. So Duck Detective is a lot friendlier that way. It's also, like I said, it is friendlier in the puzzle solving, because there are ways for you to get the answers. Whereas I don't think that's the case with the Case of the Golden Idol and the Rise of the Golden Idol. And I think like their level of thinking, like the way they want you to get to the answers, are very similar. Like they give you things that hint around the answer, but never actually give you the direct information that you need. You need to make assumptions about things. And I think that's like, maybe that's, I'm just thinking about these games wrong, is like, I shouldn't just be able to get the answer every time. Maybe I should be getting wrong answers and then going, oh, okay, well, that's not clearly the case. Let me look at this evidence again and then revisit that. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's not an expensive game. If you're looking for like a kind of word puzzle style game, it's a good game. It's maybe just not gelling with me as much as I was hoping it would.
Oh, okay. So what I've been playing is I finally finished Metaphor ReFantazio. I mean, they have a new game plus, and there's I just want to get to the point where I can open this book because you can't do it on the first playthrough, which pissed me off, and I hate that. And I you know what, I'm tired of these games like having like, hey, you can only do this in New Game Plus. Because I'm like, dude, I don't have time to be playing games again.
Yeah. I just beat you. You want me to spend the same amount of time again?
Look, I know there's people who do that. Yes, but I also play. I like to play a lot of games, and maybe because they buy this one game and they keep playing it, and that's cool. But like me, I want to move on, and I did. It was like this book, and I was like, I can't open it. I was thinking it's like, oh, maybe at the end of the game, I can open this book and do whatever it's in here. This special book that's locked up, and I guess it's some boss or something in there. But then I read online, said, oh, you can only open this after New Game Plus, and I said, fuck. But other than that, man, it's a great story. I did get the good ending. Apparently there's like 4 different endings, and the other 3 they aren't necessarily good. They're different. It's the way it is like, I think one of them is like really a bad ending, and the other one's more of like, I guess it's bad, but it's more of you being denial. That's what it seems like. You go somewhere, you go in like some other place, and you feel you be happy. Well, I guess you appear to be happy, but you just let the world burn, I guess. So, but nah, I did the good ending, yeah, man. This game, it's very good. It really touches on like it really touches on things that's very like of society, of like racism, class system, yeah, and like the rich poor and stuff like that, even political in other ways, and like it touches a lot on that. And I mean, just like kind of Persona games do. I mean, just in a like just a different way, but it still comes to me the same. The ending basically, the moral of the story is love thy neighbor. That's what basically what it is. Like that's what I mean. I know it's more than that, but it's like but it's you. Yeah, you're trying to get like you're trying to, well, like I told you, you're trying to become king. You're trying to get the prince to become king. You're in his place because he's under some spell or something. And you're not trying, and you're definitely trying to not let the church, because that's one of the antagonists, like of their religion. I forgot what the religion was called, but yeah, you're not trying to get them to have a king that represents them, and you're not trying to get Luis, who's like the main antagonist, another main antagonist, to become it, because he wants to. That he murdered the king, and he put the spell. Well, you're told that he put the spell on the prince, and so that hey, he does some bad things. Now, what he's saying though, the things he wants to do when he becomes king, is like stuff you agree with though. So you're like, he's saying some good things, but it's something else. He's like something's wrong, because like I know what he did to get here. And so, yeah, it does. I like that they do kind of complicate the antagonist with that, and really showing like how the society is just like ours, basically, in this fantasy world, and also that mystery. Like I told you, that you got this book that shows a world that's like our world, like in real life, and they talk about how things are done. It's like, we don't have kings and kings. I have people who vote on who should be the leader, and blah blah blah. But it also makes it sound like a utopia at the same time. Like it's our society, but to like if it was like better, like a society as how we would,
right, an idealized society.
Yeah, like how you just look at like how people in denial look at our society. I like to say. Yeah, that's what I like to say. Like, yeah, this is a fair society. You work hard. You can be what you want to be. You get to vote who you want to vote for and do, and yes,
and all of those things matter.
Yeah, and it's like everyone, has a place, and everything is good. So that yeah, and yeah, I used to question. I say I don't even really just say that word, but then as you go on, I realize okay, they're not. Like they go deeper with that, and it's good. Like this game is yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun. I now I definitely see why this was up there for Game of the Year for some outlets like up the top game. And gameplay wise, like I definitely like their system, the system they have here. With the archetypes, like you also doing the combo system and everything. Man, it's fun. It's fun getting a battle. I mean, I always like Persona battles too, and they stepped it up with this game. I kind of wish there was more voice acting. There's a lot of voice acting in this game, but it's just some parts of like, come on, you couldn't hire those voice actors to say talk here too, man. Come on, I ain't trying to read all this. But the game overall, it's one of the top games I played this year. So yeah, it's up there. What else have I played? I also played the new Dynasty Warriors Origins that came out this month, and it does run. You know what? I guess I don't know. The demo didn't run that well on my PC, but the actual game, I guess they optimized it pretty real good. That even on an old 970, I can play the game. It doesn't look as it definitely doesn't look as good as like a traditional. The traditional video cards for today, but it runs. So I was like, oh, okay, good. I was really thinking like, oh man, I ain't gonna be able to play this game. I'm gonna have to buy it on an Xbox Series X or PS5. But no, yeah, it's actually it runs well. And the game so far is definitely different than other Dynasty Warrior games. Like you play as like they don't have a whole menu system like the old Dynasty Warriors where you can just be like, hey, I want to play as this character. You pick the character you want to play as. One of the old Dynasty Warrior character from actual real life and some of that you would be Cao Cao or Liu Bei or Liu Bei or whatever. No, you play as this no-name character. You give him a name, and then he's kind of just been thrown into this world of Dynasty Warriors, like at the very beginning, like at the very almost at near the end of the Han Dynasty, and now it's becoming right before the three kingdoms begin to start. So you're seeing like all these like these leaders that from Dynasty Warrior games. They are young and they're just starting out. They're just early on. They're not their high ranking status yet, and so like you first start off with like Liu Bei's group, which I'm still with right now. So I don't know, I don't know how this works in the story. Like, at some point in the story, do you get to choose what group you want to be with, or does it just progress in a certain way? But it seems like because at some points, like the game, like in the story, it stops and like you see this woman and she's kind of talking to you as like, in a like she makes time stop or something, or in the dream world or whatever. And she says like she knows you, but you don't remember her. And it's almost like you're supposed to be here. And I guess you're supposed to be helping move things along to make peace in the land or some shit. So, yeah, that's the way it plays. And now, like, they have an overview map, like, you can walk through. Like, you can walk and you can, like, when you go to the next area, like, you see the different cities or towns or whatever. And when you go to a certain town, you can buy stuff or whatever, like items or whatever. And they may have like a cutscene there to see, and then there'll be a place where you go to battle. Like, oh, this is the battle is. And then they have random like side battles everywhere that might pop up with like, hey, the Yellow Turban army is doing some damage to these farmers or something. Go help them. Yeah, and then you go fight them, like just to level up your character, like level up your weapons and things of that nature. And then fighting is like Dynasty Warriors, but it's definitely more to this like than the other games. With it feels more like an action game than more like a traditional third party action game than a Dynasty Warriors game. So it's like almost like a good mixture. I mean, it kind of reminds me still of what like I said, those crossover games. I mean, it really, it's like, I think they learned a lot from those. Well, not learned, they the ones who did it, but, but they just took away from what they did there and add here, because it's not just button smashy. I mean, yes, you can hit the X and triangle button a lot, but they're gonna hit you back, and like you're gonna have to dodge in every way or block, because it's like some things, like sometimes when you hit them, they'll still be able to hit you. Like, so you gotta watch out for that. But yeah, but still tons of enemies like coming at you, and the graphics look so much better than compared to the last Dynasty Warriors I played was 8. I didn't play 9. So maybe 9 looks all right. I mean, 9 did look okay when I used to see screenshots for it, but it's just I heard it was a bad game. But this, yeah, it looks so much better than that. Yeah, they do a really good job. It's all voice acted and it's in English, so yay. But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it so far. Like it's definitely a different take, and it's more of a linear take on it of this game. Like, so yeah, it's because usually you pick your character, you go through their story, then you pick another character, you go through a story. Like you pick and which side they're on, the Shu army or the Wei army or the Wu army. This one, yeah, you're just starting from the beginning. You're just part of this. Like I was at the beginning part when they fight the Yellow Turban army, which you do that in the original Dynasty Warrior game, because all of them seem to work together then, because they're getting rid of the Yellow Turbans. Then they separate and start wanting to do their own thing. That's when they become the Three Kingdoms. So that's why I'm wondering, like, after this, like, this is Dynasty Warrior Origins. I don't know how far this goes in the story. Like, does it just go the Yellow Turban Army and that's it? So this is like a deeper dive into that rebellion, or is it do we go further?
Yeah.
To when go, because like, what's his name, Zhao Dun or something like that, because he has an eye patch. He usually has an eye patch, but now it's just early on he hasn't lost his eye. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see his lose his eye. I'm gonna see when he loses his eye. Yeah, it was gonna be something stupid like in fucking Captain Marvel that
it'll
cat
be a
scratched the eye.
Frylock
Oh,
or whatever that'll.
Yeah, that's so stupid. All right, yeah, I'm gonna take you play that game. Also, I went back to Dragon Age. I almost forgot I had the game. So I was like, oh yeah, Adventure Madness 4. Let me play a little Dragon Age. And I played some. I did, like, I think I finished off the main quest I was on. And then I went and did a side quest. And then I had to remind myself how to fight in that game because I hadn't played it so long. The battle system, and I said this before, but the battle system is pretty good in the game. Definitely the action. It's definitely like an action game type of battle system more so than a role playing game. But it's still it's done well. So I mean it's still good in that. I haven't played too much of the game to really change my opinion of it. So my opinion, I mean, is that it's all right so far right now. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably be getting back more into that game as time go on. Hopefully, I finish that within months. But I mean, between that and Red Dead Redemption, because I've been playing some more of that game, and I'm still like in the. I haven't killed the Bill Williamson yet, so I'm still at the very beginning part. But I've been doing a lot of side stuff, like either like hunting animals or stuff. And like, man, one time, man, it was like 3 fucking what they call three lion mountain lions. Yeah, 3 mountain lions coming at me at the same time. I had 2 come at me one time, but when I on my 360 days, but I ain't never had 3. And then, cause like, even though I got it so I can't die, my horse can die, and that's what happened. And
You gotta protect that horse, Dominic. You gotta get a code for him
man,
too.
those sons of bitches. And it was funny because I was chasing a wolf because I was trying to do the I don't know, was it survivalist or it's one of the challenges. Challenges is like to kill 5 wolves with a knife. And I was like, okay. And then one wolf man, because like after you kill like two, I usually only see like three at a time. And after you kill like two, the one will run away, because I guess he's smart. And I was like, I got to run after it. So I was trying to run after it, and that's when the mountain lions came. And I was like, what? I said, go attack the wolf. Let's go to hell. And I was like, y'all ain't pack hunters. Like the mountain lions, y'all don't have like a pack or anything. I was like, what the fuck is this? A pride, I guess. Yeah, y'all don't do that shit. Y'all ain't the fucking African lions. But anyway, yeah, just having fun with that, and like looking at some cutscenes, just how like funny it is. Like this game can be. Um, what else? I also play. Oh yeah, I downloaded Broken Sword. Like it's the remake of the original point and click game.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I had downloaded the original one years ago, but I never finished it. So I was like, let me get the remake. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks like a well done cartoon now instead of like a kind of pixelated cartoon before. Because it was good then. It still looked all right then. Like it wasn't a super old game. It wasn't like freaking Maniac Mansion type of game. It was like after that, but yeah. So the hand drawn animation looks good. It looked like it might be just the same voices from the original one. It sounds like, and if they aren't, then they did a good job recreating it to make it sound like it's very old. So I don't. So I'm just thinking it's the same voices because they did have voice acting in the one I played, the old one. But yeah, I didn't get too far in it. I was just trying it out to see how it was, and yeah, it's a fine game. Yeah, it's pretty good. Because I mean, it's like the original point and click games. It's a murder that happens, and you're just got in the middle of it. You were on vacation. You're on vacation in France, and I guess she'd be with that woman who's a reporter because she was supposed to be somebody, but a bomb blew up at the coffee shop you were at, and you were outside though, so you didn't get too hurt. But a guy died, and a clown stole his suitcase. So someone was in a clown outfit that was in there. So I had to try to find him. I try to find clues and find out what's going on. Yeah, it's like one of those really well done point and click games, and I guess it was really popular. I never heard of it until like the latest one had came out some years ago, and that's when I looked at found the original one. And I guess, hey, I mean, it had I don't know how many they had at Broken Sword. They had quite a few, so I'm guessing it's popular enough. So yeah, and then they do a remake. I also played a little bit of Disco Elysium like weeks ago, so I don't totally remember everything I did. Oh, I know one thing I did. I oh yeah, I was talking with these old men in this game, and like you could like because they were playing this game, and it's like I went up there and said, hey, you could do that. You could do that too. You can show off to them. And I try to show off, and I like do the ball really far. It ran in the water, and the guy was like, "What the hell are you doing?" He said, "I was like, what?" They say, "I just did it. I threw the ball as far as I could, and I threw it, and it went good." It says, "It went far." I said, "Why'd you throw it in the water?" They say, "Isn't it shot putty?" I say, "No." You say, "No, we're not doing shot putty," and like. My choices didn't give me anything to say like to ask them what they're playing. It just told me like my conscious because they have it like you're conscious of something's talking to you and telling you like, hey, you can do this or something like that, or you don't know this or like that's how the game goes. Like I guess I don't know, maybe a little crazy.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to have it's supposed to be like a mental spectrum, I think, or the different answers basically reflective of your mental state.
And also how you level up and to make it better so you can get better answers and everything. Because at one point, like, I had a smile on my face and I just couldn't get rid of it. And then I think I forgot what I did. And like I finally looked like somewhat normal. Yeah, so I said, oh, I thought I said, oh, I'll get the ball back for you. I'm still like early on again because it is timed. It is the day moves like along or something like that. But it moves doesn't move fast because I was been doing seemed like a lot within this afternoon, and I think it got to again close to the evening now. But yeah, at one point I think I was talking to with like this union guy, this head of the union guy, and he knew where my missing gun and stuff were because he said, "Oh, I'll make sure to find your gun, sir," and something like that. And I'm like, because I remember where the gun was, like, oh. And see, in this playthrough, I start over again, and I didn't even recognize I missed the gun. And that's when, see, that was not good because my panic level was low, so I panicked more, and then that's when the game ended. Because I went and said, oh, no, I got a missing gun, and I guess, like, then it get that, and I told you that you live under the bridge throwing feces at people or some shit like that. So luckily I had saved like not far from there. So I had to, I chose different answers and stuff to not make my, my panic level go down. Oh, actually, maybe I just cheated. I think I just cheated and made it like infinite so I don't go down. Cause I was like, oh, I want to talk to this guy. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a game that's I'd never played a game like this. Like it's almost like it sounds like a point and click game, but yeah, it's done definitely differently. Like it's really like almost like a choose your own adventure, but you only like you're picking what you might be able to pick some certain statements based on your like you said, your mental state, or how physical you are too. Like some things like, oh, you maybe like, because my guy's not that physical. It's more of a, like, I think he's more intellectual guy. And so when I try to do anything physical, it's a dice roll. So most likely, like, I have less chance of doing it. But yeah, this is definitely something new. Like, I get why people they really liked it. And, it's kind of give you like it gives you a breath of fresh air. It's something that's like, that was kind of, seemed almost original. I mean, I'm sure they're probably games similar. Like, I guess that Citizen Sweeper or something it's called. Citizen, it had a part 2.
Yeah.
It's called
Citizen Sleeper?
Yeah, Sleeper. Yeah. I think Citizen Sleeper is similar to this. The only thing is that you can't move your character or anything. It's just like a story based, like it's just a story, and I think that's why I didn't really stay with the game, because I thought it was like, oh yeah, you can it was like a point and click game. That's what I thought it was, but it's almost like a interactive novel to me, and I was like, oh, this is what this is. I was like, oh, I wasn't really feeling it. Like this feels more because you got a game there too. You can move your character and stuff like that, and still have those conversations like with people and choose those, like give you choices of what to say and what to do and everything. So yeah, so that's it. That's what I played. So I guess we'll take a break, and when we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashback into 2015. Yes, we're in a new year, so now you're starting with January in 2015. Let's see what games come out. Usually, you don't get a ton of big games in the early year, but actually in the later years, we have more so than in the years past.
Yeah.
We had some, like at most you might get one, something like that. Because I remember like Devil May Cry 2 came out one time, I believe. Maybe it was like February or January. I know it was either early February or late January. But yeah, and then lately Capcom's been doing that. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you see what we got here. We got WWE Immortals came out on the iOS and Android. Yes, you played this game. This is the fighting game on the Droid.
Yeah, it's not often that we talk about phone games here, but this one was pretty special. It was actually a WWE fighting game in the vein of Mortal Kombat, made by NetherRealms. This is a game that I really wish would have been turned into a full console style video game, because this took the different superstars and gave them like supernatural gimmicks. Like Brock Lesnar was essentially like Frankenstein, or what's the dude's name? Like Solomon Grundy from DC Comics. And Daniel Bryan was like half goat, half person. Triple H, of course, was just Shao Kahn, stuff like that. And it was a really cool concept, and actually played pretty well for a phone game. It's just a shame it never came to fruition as like a full actual game. I would have loved to seen that, but I'd spent some time with it. It's not something that was like awesome. It was still a phone game at the end of the day, but I enjoyed the little bit of time that I put into it.
All right. So the next game we got Saints Row: Get Out of Hell. This is the the expansion of the Saints Row game. It's about like Gat is like one of those characters you always see. And I'm guessing he's in hell and you have to get out of there. I don't like that. I don't know much about the story behind that. And I guess you play as him, because you don't usually play as him.
Yeah, you played as Johnny Gat. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So this is like, the first time I think you actually play as him, because usually you're your own character in those games. I think this was okay. I mean, it was okay.
Pretty positive, 60, even coming off of 4,
Well, Metacritic gave it a 65. That's actually lower than what I thought. I was thinking 70s. But, I mean, Game Informer gave it a 7.5. GameSpot gave it a 7. Destroyer gave it an 8. I think Eurogamer really brought it down, gave it a 6. IGN gave it a 7.8. So, you know what? These are like all the biggest ones. And I guess there must be a lot of other smaller publications that gave it a low score. Because based on these, I would think around 7.
Yeah.
Like the lowest one I see is PC Gamer 67. Eurogamer 6. Everybody else is like a 7 or up. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Well, actually, Games Radar Plus gave it a 2.5 stars. But yeah, other than that, man, I would have to think it's around a 7 range, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's anything like Saints Row, Saints Row was getting a little longer in the tooth than here. But, I mean, if you were a fan of those games, I mean, I think you still would have been satisfied. And it's really like that was it. Because after that, we didn't get Saints Row till was it last year or 2 years ago when that game came out? I forget. It feels so long ago.
Too.
It probably was last year and it just feels so long ago. I don't know.
Nah. It must have been 2 years ago. It's gotta have been.
Okay. That definitely didn't turn out well. But according to the internet, it's because of DEI, but I don't know.
2022 was the latest release.
It was 2022?
So,
wow.
3 years
I didn't think it was
ago.
that. I thought it was at least 2023.
Yeah.
For that game. All right. So what else we have? We have Citizens of Earth. I played this game.
Yeah. That's why I highlighted it.
Oh, okay. This was a game where you played as the president of Earth or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the president of Earth.
And you go around. It's like an Earthbound almost like. It's like a crazy, funny RPG and like cartoon. It has a cartoony look. And you go around, and I guess I forgot what you actually did in this game. Honestly, let me see here. Gameplay. It's a giant spoof of Earthbound in which you must collect your constituents like Pokemon. Oh, yeah. In it, you take the role of a newly elected you were the vice president of Earth, Daniel.
Oh, only the vice president. Wow.
And who begins his first day in office facing protesters. Like, why are you doing that? Damn, the president, man, he was saying like,
I was going to say, that's why, because you weren't the president. So.
Yeah, it says a missing president and a suspicious coffee shop. As the game progresses, characters are added to the party, each with unique title and personality, like hippie guy and programmer. Enemies are strewn about the overworld map, and should the vice president get too close, a separate battle screen will open up. He doesn't do any fighting himself, but instead gives commands to his party of up to 3 characters. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah, the president don't ever do fighting. You send him out to fight. But yeah, it was all right. It was an all right game. I never did stick around long enough for it. I got that on the Wii U. I think I was playing my Wii U pad. I think I was saying, or did I get it on the DS? I forgot where I got it at. I almost feel like I feel like it was the Wii U pad.
I feel like it was the Wii U pad too, because there was that like Humble bundle that had like the DS yes. and the Wii U games. And I think you ended up giving me like 1 or 2 of the codes for that I had on the DS.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't use the DS ones. Yeah, I gave it to you. All right. So what else we have here? We got Dying Light came out. This is one of the big games. This was the guys who they have worked on Dead Island, and now they moved on to Techland, and they let's say developed by Techland. Oh, they are Techland. They are Techland, and now they're published by Warner Brothers this time. So it still was like Dead Island, but this time it's more like a parkour with your character. Like you can kind of just jump on roofs and everything. You gotta go like you move fast, like jumping up on the fences, up on the roof, like doing like really nice moves, sliding, and things and stuff, and running from the zombies. And then when it gets dark, the zombies go crazy. They go real crazy at night. So you try to get somewhere safe when it's dark, or get near the light, because because they're like super fast at night, while in the daytime they're just slow. That game was fun. Me and my friend played a lot of it. We actually beat the main story. Yeah, we did start the DLC, but we never got around to really get into it. But yeah, this was basically the only game we had for New Generation, because Dead Island didn't have a game come out until 2 years ago, last year, I forget. So yeah, Dying Light was the only big time like zombie game of that nature to come out, and Dying Light 2 didn't come out till next generation. Well, did it come out? Hold up, Dying Light 2. I want to say the new systems were out, and it was just on both, or maybe it was like the last year before they came out. But it was a while, because that game got delayed. That game was getting delayed too. Yeah,
that came out February 3rd, 2022.
Oh yeah, so that didn't come out to a New Generation. So Dying Light was like the only thing, if you like Into the Zombie Apocalypse, holding it down.
Yeah.
For that. Damn, that's pretty bad. Man, that last generation was it wasn't that great, but I guess compared to this one, that makes it.
Things just keep getting worse, Dominic.
Yeah, but these are like, it wasn't a gradual fall down though, because I felt like last generation was really bad compared to the 360 PS3 one.
Oh yeah, from that to the Xbox One PS4 generation, it fell off a cliff, honestly.
Yeah. And like this ain't good. Like this is not good. Anyway, where I'm at here. Now we got Life is Strange episode 1 came out. That came out in January?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think either of us played it until the full thing was out, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I think I did.
Okay.
I think I played some.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, it wasn't. The full game wasn't out yet when I played it. It was episodic.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I played it when it first came out. I'm not sure. We would have to go back on a freaking early podcast.
It's crazy that now we're at the point where we have evidence. We could go back and look.
But I know I played episodic because I that's why I used to replay it. I used to replay the chapter so I could to do the different endings.
Yeah.
To do different choices so I can have. Like, okay, in this next game, I have this choice I did. But yeah, Life is Strange, man. This was, like, basically, it really Dontnod's, like, really big game that really broke out the studio. Because even they did the game before that, was called Remember Me or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't really hear anybody talk about it. But this game, because I like Telltale games, so I played this. I was like, wow, this is really good. Like,
Yeah,
and
this was
is
like
really
the continuation of that.
high quality. Yeah, high quality compared to Telltale games. I mean, yeah, they put more. Yeah, because Telltale games are done probably quicker or whatever. Well, obviously because they overwork their guys stuff. But yeah, these were yeah. It's like, wow, this is really well done. And then the story was really good. The whole rewinding system, because the powers you get. Yeah,
That was nice because
really
I
unique.
didn't have to play it as many times because I could just rewind to see what the option was. And then, of course, once they got to like the big choices that would really affect things, that's when they were like, "Oh no, she's got a headache and now she can't rewind powers or something like that."
I know. I say you better take an aspirin or something and hurry up. So I want to see different choices. But no, yeah, it's cool how they did that, like how they implement that in the game. And it was a nice story. I know some people say, nah, but like they say, well, how the girls talk or something like that. Oh, kids don't talk like that or something. But I was like, I'll say okay. I mean, I didn't really have that was never an issue for me personally though. I don't know what people talk out in Seattle. I was like, whatever. But so I was like, but yeah, it was yeah, this was a good game. Like, and I only played the Colors one, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Life is
True
Strange
Colors.
True Colors. That was like the only one I played. The other one, I played a little bit of the first chapter of the prequel to this game.
Yeah,
but
before the story.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I still gotta finish up on that. Like, yeah, I'm like way behind on those games. But this one, man, it was great. It was really like yeah, I was like, yeah, this is better than some Telltale games. I mean, because like I said, production value they done more with this game. There's a lot more money probably behind it on this game than Telltale games. And also, Telltale games, they're making like 5 at a time or some shit. Yeah. What else we got here? Okay, this is a mistake. Yeah, I don't need, because that's down there. I can cut that. All right. So that's it for 15. I'm sorry. So now we're going back 20 years to 2005, and we got The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap came out
Crazy.
in the U.S. It came out in Japan, I think November of the previous year.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, I played this game also, but I don't think I beat this one.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I did beat this. Maybe I did beat this one. It was one of them, like the train one.
Oh, yeah.
I held from you.
Spirit Tracks.
I didn't do. Okay, no, hold up. What was the 2 games on Game Boy Advance? Because that was on DS, wasn't it?
It was Spirit Tracks was on the DS. Game Boy Advance, I think there might have only been one because there was also the Four Swords collection.
Yes, then I beat this one. Yeah, I did beat this one, but I don't remember anything about it. So you go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, I remember very little of it. I actually think maybe it's time to go back and play it. I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch. As part of the online stuff. But basically in this one, it shared the similar or the familiar isometric view of a Zelda game. And in this one, the gimmick was that you had this talking hat that made you shrink and grow. Basically, you would shrink down, talk to these Minish people, and solve their problems. It followed the normal Zelda dungeon structure. This is before they scoot off into like the Link Between
I'm surprised
Worlds.
nobody attacked them on that slur, calling those people Minish.
Yeah, but I remember it very fondly. I would have to go back and play it again to remember really anything of any detail, but I remember at the time having a lot of fun with it. I'm pretty sure I played it since then, but it's still been a while. I probably picked it up on the Vita at some point, emulator that way.
Oh, is that Minish, that could be confused with the Mennonites or something. Maybe that's like a slur for the Minish, for Mennonites. Man. So look at the Minish. There's a
don't diminish me, Dominic.
What'd you say?
I said don't diminish me.
Diminish. Yeah, the Minish Cap. I mean, I did enjoy the game. I know that I did like the game. But yeah, I do remember like it. Yeah, it talked. It looked like a damn bird or something. Even though it was just a cat, but because like yeah, it's got a beak. It looked like it has a beak.
Yeah, it's got a beak. It's weird.
Yeah. But yeah,
it was inhabited by the soul of a Minish person or something like that. It was super.
Yeah,
weird.
I give it to Zelda. I mean Nintendo in general. For that, like how creative they are with, like how they keep doing these new installments of
their
games.
Ability to just take mushrooms and come up with brand new ideas. It's incredible.
Like, yeah, I mean that the Spirit tracks. I mean, like, what the hell? All right. So what else we have here? We got Resident Evil 4 came out on the GameCube, and I was so jealous of this that the GameCube got to have this good-looking Resident Evil game, brand new. Wasn't on the PS2 until later it came, but I didn't know if it was going to come or when. But I was like, you go to this inferior console, this inferior little purple box, and you don't come to where the money
doesn't even have a proper second stick on it.
Yeah. But yeah, you talk about this because you played this definitely. Well, hell, I never beat it. So,
oh wow,
yeah, you played
really?
it before? No.
Yeah, I mean, I played it a couple of times now. As recently as the Switch on this, we talked about that on this podcast. Yeah, I mean, this is. It's hard to argue that this isn't one of the best games of all time, especially if you were to like limit it to a specific genre. It took what was working for Resident Evil as far as like the zombie and the shooting stuff and just made it into a modern game. This is really what turned a lot of games in a similar kind of genre, I guess, into more modern games.
The over the shoulder, third person action.
I mean, if you look back at it, if you look at a lot of what like Sony is doing right now, a lot of that really originated in Resident Evil 4, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, you're coming off of games like what would have been one of the most recent ones outside of, I mean, you would have the remake, obviously, that they did for the GameCube as well. We talked a little bit about that, I think, already. Resident Evil Zero, made.
Zero was like a new game, but it was still done like old Resident Evil.
Like that old one. And then before that, obviously, like Code Veronica and everything, where these are all isometric views. Oh, yeah.
Survivor.
Survivor. That should have been the direction the series could have been taken.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go to this and just using the visuals, like this did incredible things with the GameCube's power. Obviously the GameCube was kind of like this middle ground between the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 at the time. But this really took that, and we had already seen what Capcom could do with the Resident Evil remake and Zero. Those games were some of the best looking games on that system, even to this day, but they still used pre-generated, pre-rendered backgrounds, and this finally took that world into a full 3D environment, and just blew it out of the water. You know, you look back at it now where you have to like stop to shoot, and in a lot of ways like that can feel a little archaic when you go back from now. But at the same time, I think that was kind of like a happy balance between the limited ammo and the limited movement of the original Resident Evil games and what you have now, which is just an action shooter, basically. So I think they really did nail this game in so many ways. And there's just like so many weird, eerie things in it too, like the little short prince guy, and the large cloaked, things that stood next to him that ended up being like weird looking alien style things. It also like subverted what you would expect out of a zombie game, where it's like you always go for their head because that's how you kill zombies. And now it's like the Las Plagas. So when you shoot their heads, this like tentacle thing comes out and attacks you, so you have to shoot them in the legs, but they actually react to you shooting them in the legs appropriately.
Those gonna be the genitals. Yeah, shoot them in the genitals.
You know what? Now I'm thinking, like, I don't remember that actually. They missed the opportunity by that not working. It should have been like, oh, you shoot them there, they put their hands down, and then you know. Yeah, there are definitely some aspects of this game that falter a little bit, but I think for the most part, it is up there as one of the best games of all time. It still does struggle a little bit from the era of I have to tap a button really fast to do a thing. This game was definitely plagued with that, running away from boulders and, you know, cranking boat engines and stuff like that. But between just the kind of day-to-day gameplay of it and the actual like spectacle level set pieces for the bosses, you know, I thought all of that was done pretty incredibly. So, and then of course, you know, Resident Evil 4 remake, they just kicked that up even more a notch. So very cool stuff, Dominic. Also, as a GameCube fan, very excited about the Capcom 5. This is one of the few that ended up actually being anything, so could still hold this over like Sony and Xbox fanboys' heads at the time until it ended up coming to the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Yeah, they realized they made a mistake. But I was joking. But yeah, the Xbox. Yeah, I was a little jealous. Yeah, it was that, like No More Heroes, Beautiful Joe. What's the other two?
One was Phoenix something that ended up getting canceled, and then the other one was Piano 3.
Oh,
that like rhythm, all white, weird thing.
Yeah,
I never even played that. I don't think.
Yeah, so you could have kept.
I think I got a demo of it.
It was just Beautiful Joe, and this I was jealous of.
Yeah, both ended up.
All right, so we got Mercenaries, Playground Destruction. Yeah, I was. I
was jealous of.
Oh, this wasn't on the GameCube. Oh yeah, it was on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Yeah, I wonder why. Darn, I guess they said like we ain't gonna make.
It was too kiddie, Dominic.
It was too kiddie. Yeah.
It was too kiddie. Yeah, well, the console was not the game. The console was too kiddie.
It was an action adventure. It was done by Pandemic Studios, and it was published at LucasArts at the time.
Oh wow!
Until EA, I believe, got it. Yeah, it's a sandbox game. You know, you're just like in these places, and I guess there's the 5 warring factions, the Allied Nation of South Korea and stuff. Like you're a mercenary. You're working for one of these countries, either South Korea, Russian mafia, China, and Northern Korean armies. Now I don't know if you ever worked for Northern Korea. I'm not sure. I guess I don't remember the story of the game, but yeah, it was just the action was really what it was. Like you could just do anything, you know, in those areas. So it was like kind of cool. I can't really remember much. I just remember shooting guns. That's all I can remember. It's been so long since I played this game.
I just remember things falling apart. That was the coolest part. For me.
It did have destruction. It did have destruction. Yeah, it says like here, you get the environment free to pick up missions and perform side tasks, collect items, hijack vehicles, or employ game mechanics and exhibition. As the world is a sandbox, I'm reading it off the Wikipedia, the player can choose to do any of these activities at any time. In fact, one can level all of the buildings in the game world, including the faction HQs, which I think I've definitely done that. I definitely just blown everything. Buildings are usually restored after extended time away from the area. The player's death or reloading the game, they come back. Okay, also the player can cause wanton destruction and many small outposts and strongholds occupied by and restricted to faction members only. However, excessive rampaging is discouraged by the reduction of the attack faction's disposition towards the player and the murders of civilians and allied nations' personal results in cash fines as well. It was one of those crazy games like sandboxy games. So like you didn't have a lot of those back then. So this was kind of like a treat. Like it's like, I get to blow up shit. and just do anything, even though there are consequences. But there's no real consequences though. They ain't real. So I was like, I don't care. I can blow up these civilians, whatever. Yeah. So this is before the days of we had like Just Cause and things of that nature. This was this is something on the PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, because I was real excited for this game.
Mm.
And I enjoyed it. I couldn't wait for I was real excited for 2, but then 2 didn't turn out great, but it was all right. But it wasn't like I thought it was going to be a whole lot bigger than what it was. Yeah. All right, the next game we got here, The Getaway Black Monday. This is the sequel to The Getaway, and which takes place in London, and so does this one.
This was Grand Theft Auto Killer Kid, Dominic.
Wait a minute. This is a third game described as this. Wait a minute. It says The Getaway Black Monday is set in London with new characters. A third game described as a spin-off of the series entitled Gangs of London was released to. Oh, okay, that's after. Okay, so this is the second one. All right. The game features 140 playable vehicles. Oh, shucks. Including those licensed from Rover, Brabus, man, the what is this? How you pronounce this, y'all?
Puget.
The Puget, Puget, yeah. I don't use none of these cars in the racing games.
Yeah.
The Renault, yeah, I don't use none of these. Oh man, I think the Puget, I had to use in Forza game or something like that.
I think that's the orange one that you use at one point.
Yeah. The game begins with the flashback sequence. Sergeant Ben Mitch Mitchell, Mitch is his name, like the name they call him, is chasing down an armed teenage robber. The teen robber stops running, instead aiming his gun at Mitch. Mitch orders him to drop his gun. The teen then chooses to try to turn around and escape. Mitch fires his weapon, which makes it seem like he purposely shot the teen in the back.
Are we sure this isn't set in America, Dom?
1 year later, Mitch is on his first day back on the team. The team heads towards an East London housing estate where they believe the Collins crew is storing drugs in a flat. The team breaks into the flat, but finds it empty. But PC Harvey and another SO-19 officer find a door that leads to the flat next door and find tons of drugs. They soon chase them down in an apartment complex, and PC Harvey is injured in the leg. Mitch single-handedly hunts down the remaining suspects, who take an old woman hostage on the roof. Back at the station, Mitch is taunted about the teenager shooting incident and almost loses his temper. Inspector Monroe then informs them of a shooting at a boxing club in Shoreditch. After arriving at the scene, Mitch chases Jim. Okay, so you're playing as a cop. It seems like because it seems
that's why I couldn't get to the point. That's why I couldn't kill GTA.
Oh, yeah, because the last game I think you were actually in the game. And this one seems like, you're playing as a police officer this time. Maybe in later story you go off. I have no idea.
You go rogue. Rogue inspector.
But Black Monday was a platinum sales award. It did sell a lot, even though Metacritic gave it a 57.
Yeah, that's rough.
Edge, which is the British
premier magazine.
And it's premier. It's definitely premier. I mean, it's British, but it sells here. It's gave it a 3 out of 10.
That's rough.
Jesus.
They're like, we don't like how we're being characterized in this game.
Or maybe they say, I don't want to be a cop. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it a 6. Eurogamer gave it a 5. Yeah, the Europeans, man, they didn't like their game. Famitsu liked it. They gave it a 30 out of 40. Famitsu, I don't know. Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10. Darn,
they also had them on the cover, Dominic.
Yeah, the British are tougher in their game, man.
That's how we should be on Grand Theft Auto. Like, I don't like the way this game is characterizing me as a big fat slob.
Yeah, the official PlayStation magazine gave it a 2 stars out of 5.
Rough.
The Sydney Morning Herald gave it a 2.5 stars. Detroit Free Press gave it a 2 star out of 4, though.
The Detroit Free Press said it doesn't like the game. The game design is bollocks.
Yeah, it does say that. Maybe is this Detroit in
They're probably
England?
just trying to use the
Detroit,
slang
England.
of the game, which is only more offensive.
All right. Yeah, what else we got here? We got Banjo Pilot came out. Oh, you want to mention this?
Yeah, just because it was something that came out after on a Nintendo console after the Microsoft ownership of Rare, and because of that, it was Diddy Pilot that got canceled. It became Banjo Pilot, and I don't think it's an incredible game, but like if you take a look at it, it actually is kind of impressive for a GBA game. The gameplay itself looks very smooth. It runs at a solid frame rate for what they were trying to attempt.
It's a similar game like Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah. This is the original Sonic Racing Transform, Dominic. this is the first one that had the balls to step out of the shadow of Mario Kart.
And so Rare developed it, but it was published by THQ. Because this is not really Nintendo anymore. And that's why I got low scores, because Diddy Kong was gone.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. It got 68. It could have got an 80 on Metacritic. What else we got here? We got The Punisher. Why The Punisher, Daniel? Why you got The Punisher up here?
Because The Punisher was allegedly like a decent game, and it was like super violent. You had like sticking people's faces in
Hold on, it came
fires.
out on Xbox, PS2, PC, and mobile. I guess mobile is a different game, most likely. So those games. Yeah, I actually got a 73, 72.
Which for this style of
rankings.
licensed game, like is kind of surprising.
Yeah, well, Metacritic 69. Well, 69, 68, like close to 70. Edge didn't like it though, Daniel.
Also, we got to talk about the controversy, Dominic. Apparently, it featured extremely gruesome scenes of torture and gore that the ESRB stated was in the initial cut would have met adult only ratings.
So not the
so
sex
they had to
stuff,
tone it down, Dominic. They had to tone it down.
Because the gore. It said much like Manhunt 2. Oh yeah, Manhunt 2.
Yep.
I remember that having problems.
Wii U exclusive Manhunt 2.
Yeah.
Or Wii, not Wii U.
Like, what did they do? Like, what did they do to Manhunt to, like, finally get it out?
I think they did tone it down a little bit, but then, of course, you had the Wii version where you're, like, taking the Wii controllers and, like, literally strangling, enacting the strangulation.
But darn. So they had a, so what did they take out then? I wanted...
because there's still some pretty graphic stuff in that Punisher game. I've seen the cutscenes before.
I mean, shucks, man. Based on the Punisher, even the TV show that came out on Netflix, man, that shit was gruesome. I mean, that's the Punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume
true to character.
I never read a comic, so
but I've seen him in Spider-Man in the animated series, and Jesus, what they let him do in that show it's crazy.
I don't know what they do in that show.
He rode around in a van with his geek friend.
Yeah, that's all he did. I don't think he didn't kill
and
one
held
person.
like a sonic gun or something like that because they couldn't have a real gun.
No, which is stupid because Batman could have a real gun. I mean, not Batman. Batman didn't use a gun, but they had guns
Batman's
in the
villains,
show. Yeah. Like, they didn't use Tommy lasers.
It was a period piece. They got away with it. Their
this is weird
did.
that they went. It's like it was the 90s. Like that stuff was the 80s. G.I. Joe was the 80s, like late 80s.
Yeah.
And it was like
RoboCop, Terminator.
Like why are y'all still like that whole shit?
This is America. Why are you hung up on it?
Yeah, them, X-Men. I think all the Marvel shows did that. While Batman and Superman had guns. Well, Superman had lasers because it was actual lasers.
Yeah,
like there's actually aliens or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the police people was using guns. Like, it's like, dude, those guys, man, they were like, man, I ain't using no fucking lasers, man. It's like a gun is a gun. Like, that's the end of the day. Like, it doesn't make it better or worse. So you make it a laser. It's still something you use to shoot.
There's less blood with the laser, Dominic. It just cauterizes the wound.
Yeah, but they ain't showing no blood either in those Batman when people got shot. So it's like, whatever. So, I mean, all you do is say, like, oh, yeah, I'll shoot somebody. It won't be bloody. And Anyway, like, see, yeah, this actually got some, like, some people. Well, Maxim gave it a 10 out of 10.
Shocking.
Yeah, they had the adult only version. All right. What else we got here? We got Zookeeper came out on the Nintendo DS. I mean, yeah, Nintendo
Yeah,
DS. Yes,
I
yes,
mentioned
that's
this.
right.
This is basically like not a Tetris. What's one of the other, like a Bejeweled style game?
Okay.
But this is memorable to me because it was one of the few games I had around the launch of the DS because it was such a limited thing, and probably one of the ones that I spent the most time with. It's just animal
Hope you got a
faces
horrible
instead
score.
of jewels, and you're matching them up, trying to clear the puzzle, stuff
I
like
don't even
that.
see a Metacritic score on the Wikipedia page.
I believe it. Didn't seem like a huge game.
There was a Zookeeper game in 1983.
Oh, this is a remake.
I don't
of
know if that's like the same game though,
Yeah.
or is just something just with the same title.
That. Oh no.
What else we have here? We got Xbox. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath came out. This was exclusive on Xbox. This was somewhat a big deal because Oddworld was one of those games that I was really liked. Like it was really loved. Almost. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I'll say popular, but it was like. It was like
It was
I mean,
one
'cause
of
I didn't-
those weird things where you like think
Yeah.
of a PlayStation and you think of Abe, right?
Yeah, and Oddworld. This is like a first person shooter in that world, and I was like, oh, they get this, and it was exclusive. I was like, oh, they. So why Xbox?
Yeah,
get
and
exclusive?
following the other one that they made exclusive for Xbox, which
Munch's
wasn't
Odyssey,
very good.
yeah.
Yeah, that which wasn't very good.
Yeah, and
I
this
think
was
people were a
actually
little
pretty good. It was
surprised
at
by
87.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, and this stayed. I thought this was going to be one of those things. Like, oh, it's going to come on PlayStation one
Yeah.
day. Never did. And I played this game. I think I probably beat it. I just don't remember it. It's just not really memorable. I probably went through it real quick. Because I remember borrowing this game for the Xbox, and I remember also playing it on the 360 because I think they had it where you can get it or something. I don't know how, but I remember playing it. But yeah, what's the story here? You're a bounty hunter, known as Stranger, catching various outlaws to raise money for a mysterious operation. He travels through 3 towns inhabited by bird-like clackers, Gizzard Gulch, and Buzzardton. Oh, okay. Oh, you got a place called New York City. New York City. You like New York.
New York
Hey,
City.
But I just remember like you had this crossbow that shot some fairy things at the enemies. I thought that was pretty cool. Like these animals. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, you guys got stun grenades. I think all the things you used were alive.
Yeah.
All your animals alive. Like dud slugs
Yep.
as cannonballs, boom bats as rockets, and sting bees and small shots. Yeah. So it was pretty good. And it also looked pretty good too. Yeah, I thought it was all right. Yeah, I think it eventually came out. Like people on PS3 got to play it because it came out there
Yeah.
on their system later on. But yeah, that's one of the few Xbox exclusives that were like really, really great. Well, that's a third party exclusive technically. Anyway, what else we got here? We got some news that came out. We got Titus Interactive, the legal liquidation of the company and all its affiliates. Sofra Games, GIE, Titus Interactive, and Avalon France is pronounced. Oh, what did they make?
And they're the ones that have a logo that looks like Bubsy, and I'm not totally sure that they even have anything to do with Bubsy.
Oh,
Yeah, when I check their wiki, it doesn't come up with Bubsy.
Yeah.
They released Incredible Crisis. I don't know if you
Did they
remember
do a
that
Superman
PlayStation
game?
They did a Superman game. They did Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. That is not the Disney Hercules. That is the Kevin Sorbo Hercules. Carmageddon
Oh, man.
64, Blues Brothers 2000.
I guess. Yeah, they They don't have a great history here.
No,
It's
the
just-
original KO the Kangaroo on Dreamcast and PC.
I see something like a prehistoric man. Is
The
that one of
RoboCop
theirs too?
game on the Xbox in
Oh
2003.
man,
Top
yeah.
Gun in 2004. Yeah, I remember this logo being on things, but yeah, I didn't remember much of what they had done.
Yeah, well, they finally went down. Oh, another game that came out. I forgot. Radiata Stories or Radiata Story. I never knew how to pronounce this because they didn't have no fucking voice acting in the game. Like Radiata Stories. It was a RPG, and I got this game, and I don't know why. I think I got it because I saw decent reviews, and it was Square Enix that made it, and it looked the art style wise, it looked all right, and it was an RPG, and let me see, yeah, I remember I got this like before I worked at Target. I think yeah, it was before or when I started Target, because I got it later. I didn't get it when it first came out because I didn't even realize it came out in freaking January. Actually, was that the Japanese version that came out in January? Yeah, yeah, because I got it. I know, yeah, I got it in September. Yes, so I got it. Yeah, but I was at Target. Yeah, now I remember because I was at Target 'cause I got that in the strategy guide. Um, yeah, I got 74 on Metacritic. Like, it was okay. I think I did end up beating it, but I was just kind of like disappointed. So I was like, there's nothing memorable about this game and anything. But it just felt like a big game because, like, it was some reason why I got it because I read it somewhere. Um, like the setting, okay, the land regions, all. I'm trying to think who made the game. Like, who's the guys who did this game? Um, well, I think the Star Ocean guys worked on it. It was just a lot of previews for this game. Um, and a Japanese reviewer noted that the game had humorous dialogue but simple battle system, which made it suitable for beginners. The game sold well in Japan, and blah blah blah. During the interview, let's see, North American reception was lukewarm. Writing story was a top run on GameFly, and debuted 20 profitable game September. Yeah, yeah, it was. I don't know. Only yeah, it was only up here because I bought the game and I was disappointed. I thought it actually might have had good reviews, honestly, and I just didn't like it. I thought it was just me. So no, it wasn't just me. This game, no. Um, yeah, I just fell for the script. I fell for the logo. I was like, hey, it's a Square Enix RPG. It's pretty big, and I think the previews were kind of taunted as pretty cool. But then I guess I should have waited for the reviews, Daniel. I didn't wait for the reviews. Oh yes, some news from 20 years ago. Take Two Interactive, the company secures a deal with Major League Baseball that grants them the exclusive rights for the next 7 years.
Boo.
So yes, this is when. So now they got the exclusives, which I thought they were going to be the only ones making a baseball game. Which maybe I'm trying to think. Was there a break between the whatever the baseball game was called before MLB The Show? Because Sony was 99 Studios, and they had a baseball game. It was called something else. It was called The Show. It was called another word. I don't know what they called their baseball games. I keep on saying Game Breakers, but that was fucking college.
Yeah.
Football. So
Was it just MLB?
maybe. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Man, 'cause I never got their games. So they because Sony got it, they got to still do it. They said because they're only on one console, so it was I don't know some contract thing. They said, look, Take Two has the third party, while the Sony one has. I mean, they can still do it because they're not third party. They can't sell it on any other system basically, so they just sell on theirs.
They actually
which is-
released MLB 2006 in 2005, and then there was an MLB 2006, the show.
Okay. Oh no, that actually because 2006 came out in 2005. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
MLB,
what you were saying, right?
MLB
Because that's
2006
how-
came out in 2005, and then MLB the show 2006 came out in '06.
Yeah, that's how they because they were doing like Madden,
Yeah.
Triple play and stuff when they used to come out, they'll say the year after, and
Right.
I was confused because I was like, it's like it was, I forgot what year it was. I was like, it says 2003, it's 2002. But it was like, oh, I guess they don't want to, because they don't want to
They
confuse
don't want to
people.
look
Think
behind. Yeah, because
it's like,
even
we're
at the
behind.
Game Awards this year, it's like college gamed or whatever the football game is, NCAA 2006 or whatever, and then you got like WWE 2K24, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this game behind everything else?
So what we got here? So that's why they did it. But yeah, so they had the exclusive for it to appear on PC. I guess Nintendo, but they don't think they ever really. Actually, I don't know. Did they do a Wii game? I'm not sure they did a Wii baseball game for Nintendo. If they did, I don't remember. Maybe they did. I would be surprised they didn't have some bullshit fucking baseball game on that system. But anyway, yeah, and the Xbox, and yeah, I used to hate that because I wanted the Xbox 360. When I got 360 days, man, I was like, darn, man, I can't get the show. Like all I could do was get the show on PlayStation 2, because and that's what I did, because the show was still better than the 360 freaking 2K. Yeah, the 2K games were not good compared to the show.
Yeah.
I can't remember, like, man, it's been so long. Especially when the show finally did like their version, like their road to the show, when they did the early, like when they first started. Oh my god, I love that. And 2K had nothing really like that at the time. So yeah, that sucked. Yeah, that really sucked for the 360 guys. That at the time, until I got a PlayStation 3, so I could start getting those games. That you really had no baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing, and then you really had nothing for a while because 2K stopped at some point.
Yep.
All you had was some crappy one that MLB published, one like something. I think even though one of my players, I think Adam Jones was on the front of one of them. I was like, oh, but it sucked. All right,
Sunk too low.
What else you got? Oh yeah, Take-Two. Yeah, this is when they were doing deals, man. The company acquired Visual Concepts, which did the basketball games, so that's when it turned to 2K games. So Visual Concepts Entertainment and its wholly owned studio Kush Games. The company also acquires all intellectual properties related to the ESPN video games product line and the company logo thumbnail. So yeah, they got that the hockey game. What else? I mean, of course, the baseball I already talked about. What else did they? I think that's the only sports games they had, because they had football no more. Take-Two, the company launches the new label. That's when they launched a new label, 2K games, for internally and externally developed console, PC, and handheld products, including sports titles. So so 2K games, and then that it wasn't just sports. It was like a lot of other stuff was going to there. Now, and because like 2K, I always thought like 2K because of Dreamcast, like, because that's what it was. It was called 2K, and I thought that was pretty smart how they kept that.
Yeah,
because that branding was good. Also, they acquired the rights to Sid Meier's Civilization series and established a publishing agreement with Firaxis. So yeah, Take-Two, they're making some moves there.
yeah.
Then Electronic Arts announces their 15-year partnership with ESPN. 15 fucking years they had that brand. Darn. And now I think they technically, I mean, I don't know if they might still do, or I don't know if either one does, because they don't use ESPN, they use TNT 2K. At least last time I played it, it was the TNT guys. I don't know what Madden uses, or if they use anybody. I'm not sure. All right. So that's it. So now, actually, we got 1995. We got a couple things from 1995, apparently. We got 30 years ago, Battle Arena Toshinden was released. Toshiden. What is this?
Did you ever? It was a fighting game. It was like a 3D arena fighter. Most of the people had weapons. So I guess you didn't really play this at all, huh?
No.
I would go over to my buddy's house who had a PlayStation because I did not at the time and play this a lot. Basically, a lot like a Soul Calibur style game. And I just remember this being one of my early memories of like the PlayStation brand is this game. This and what's the one you fight in the woods and you chop down the trees and you could kill people in one hit?
Is that Tenchu or something?
No. Why am I blanking on this game?
Bushido Blade?
Yes, Bushido Blade. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking with this game. Yeah.
Yeah, that and Bushido Blade are like my early memories of playing PlayStation games at my friend's house. So.
Okay. And last one we got here, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Sony Computer Entertainment Europe is established.
Yeah, they finally took over Europe, Dominic.
Oh, okay. So darn, they finally did it. Oh, yeah. Well, it's 95. Well, it just Sony. The PlayStation just started.
This is when they were establishing themselves.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
So it wasn't that long after. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get into the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. First up, this is kind of news out of nowhere. Earthblade, the follow-up from the Celeste developers, has been canceled. Apparently, there's been some internal drama inside that studio as far as like ownership rights of Celeste. And some of the members of the team have left, and as such, they've decided to kind of part ways and do their own thing. That's unfortunate because that game looked really good. We saw it not that long ago, if I recall correctly. And I was pretty excited about what that was going to be, but
I forgot how that game looked.
No luck. Basically like an evolved version of Celeste. Still pixel art, but much more detailed. All right. Next up, Dominic, Sony has canceled 2 live service games, one being worked on by Sony Bend and one by Bluepoint. That was the team that made the Dark Souls remake. Apparently, Bluepoint was working on a God of War live service game. Who asked for that, Dominic? Who wanted that?
I just want to know, like, what these games were, man. Like, I just want to see a situation where these games actually gets released.
Yeah.
I want to see like an alternate universe where these games go through and then go out on the market, and how would it turn out? Like,
and that alternate reality Concord must not have immediately bombed, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that'll be the reason why. But yeah, because to tell me like this is what they were working on, and then there's 2 of them, like.
And the reality of it is like neither of those studios seem like multi-game studios necessarily. Yeah. So I pose the question here, but like, we're not going to see a single other game from either of these studios during this generation, are we? With the way the cycles are going, like, there's no way.
You know what? As like, if you want to talk about sales and stuff, that you can go ahead, but that has nothing. I mean, I don't get nothing from the sales because I get nothing from the money from those things. Like, whatever comes out, it comes out. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, and that's it. You know, like for my end. But I'm looking at Sony and like out their studio, like it's been nothing really. Like, you really been just relying on the third parties. And the thing is, PS5 still, even though I mean, people can, if you want to do the like argument like, hey, Xbox, at least they had some games that come out, and you see the games and stuff that we're going to talk about now, that's potentially coming out. Still, games are games at the end of the day. Like, nobody, like, most people don't care if it says Sony published it or not. They just care it's on the system. Now, Sony, that's what I say, I give it to Sony that they did get those exclusives from third parties to be up there. But now I'm thinking, like, maybe they only did that because they did not have anything they knew was going to be out. Like, was it so much of them trying to keep it away from Xbox, or was it them? We don't have games,
Right.
because like if Final Fantasy wasn't exclusive, if I mean all the Final Fantasy, because both, yeah, because both of them were exclusive. Final Fantasy 16 and the Rebirth. If Final Fantasy, if they weren't exclusive, if what other game they had? I don't even want to count. I don't even want to count like the that Blade game, because I don't know. I don't think that's a big deal. I'm trying to think of another exclusive, like a third party exclusive that they had.
I mean, there's technically like Black Myth Wukong
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got Black Myth Wukong that came out.
until that eventually.
But I don't know if that was a
comes to
symbol.
Xbox.
Man, yeah, but I don't know if that was. I mean, like, yeah, that was not more
A
of a
deal to
surprise.
keep it exclusive,
Yeah.
or whether it was just a hardship to get it on the Xbox, so they didn't.
Yeah, but like, I mean, those are like, that's a big deal. Darn, I can't even think of. I'm trying to think. I mean, darn, I'm thinking there's more. I mean, those are big deals, but I thought there was like more
Yeah.
exclusive, like Japanese.
It turns out there
games.
just haven't been really that many games.
Oh yeah, so yeah, well then this is disappointing. That's a little disappointing, and it sucks. And thing is, as a person who likes games, I don't like that they're so far ahead, because I'm like, you're so far ahead with doing minimal work. Like you didn't put a lot of games out. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a ton of games on this system. Was it something like what was the what was a good deal like for you to be so far ahead? Because like, PS4, I see it. Like with this, I don't like, not that Xbox should be leading, but like, you're selling this much more. You can say, yeah, they won the console war, not counting the Switch. They won an Xbox, yeah, but it's like, what's the show for it? It's not like you can put something up there that says like, yeah, because they got this and this and this and this. It's like, it's really like, oh, because Xbox, they didn't do shit. I mean, Xbox didn't do much to really to really threaten them, and they didn't feel the need. Or they were making these freaking games and they realized people don't want them. They were making these these multiplayer games.
That's exactly.
It's like,
yeah,
dude.
I mean, it's so
technically- I'm
crazy
sorry,
that
Daniel,
they thought at some
yeah.
point that everybody
Yeah.
did want these games. And is that just like seeing the success of one of those games, Fortnite, and going, okay, we've got to make all of our games exactly like that? Like,
Yeah, I feel like you should have been like, why did it take this long to get to that? Like, this is probably the worst time to start like
the video game
something
industry
new.
is a reactionary, and they didn't
Yeah,
see
but-
until that game was released, and then from there, to make one of their style games, it's another 4+ years.
Yeah, but it's been games before Fortnite. That's what I'm saying. It's like, why did it take so long for you to go multiplayer? Like, you didn't have a studio multiplayer. I mean, you got Destiny, but I feel like you should have had something.
I mean, that's
Like,
the
in
crazy
the
thing,
PS3
right?
days.
Is like almost in a way the only real reason why they bought Bungie is because they wanted them as like a support studio, or a someone to hold up as a holy grail for what the rest of the company should do as a live service studio going forward, basically.
Yeah,
And
and-
in so they ended up killing a lot of what Bungie was, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, they killed a lot of studios they had on PS3. Like, they had some studios that actually did multiplayer. I mean, they didn't turn out. They had like MAG, didn't turn out great. But they had SOCOM. I mean, technically, Naughty Dog had those, Uncharted multiplayer, which turned out to be pretty good or something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just wasn't like a lot of like they advertising of just that, just the because they were doing the Last of Us multiplayer, where the massive multiplayer, yeah, it was all right, but it's like you don't really advertise that. And Like, it's just something that's in the game. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's there. But people, they went for it for the single player. And, like, maybe it was something more behind that maybe people would be more attracted to it. I don't know. It's just that it's almost like they missed the boat in attracting people to the multiplayer. That's just something the third-party games would just do.
Yeah.
Like, it just had to be third-party with that, not them. Like, I just, like, feel like they missed the train on that. And it's just weird that, and then a lot of the games that came out were re-releases. Like, that's the real thing. Like, you're a first-party studio, and a lot of your games are re-released games from the PS4, and not even PS3, PS4. Like, you didn't even go like, oh, we're gonna release a PS3 game and look a lot better. It's damn sad, and it's like, damn, this is the leading console. I say, man, this will look good for the future. It's like yeah. I'm saying, like, yeah. It's like this is not cool. That this is the lean console, and
yeah. We've said it before. This is what winning looks like. Ugh.
Like, this ain't something to brag about or anything. Like, yeah, I understand these people with these console war stuff. Like, everybody should just be angry, or like, yeah, y'all could do better. See, these dudes could do better, man. It's like, what the fuck y'all doing? So yeah, that I mean, it sucks that they stopped these games. I mean, but then again, like, I mean, I don't know what these games would have been. Maybe they would have been something that people would like. I have no idea. I mean, that's the whole thing. Yeah. But it's like, but yeah, like you wasted so much time on that. Then it's like, darn, I wish she was doing something else.
Yeah, because we've talked about it before, but I mean, especially like a company like Bluepoint, where it's like they specialize in making these remasters, and there are so many franchises that we would like to see return from Sony's portfolio. And we've talked about it before, but like, you don't necessarily need Naughty Dog to make Jak and Daxter.
There's actually games that's like multiplayer though, that you from your old franchise that you could have.
There's that
tried
too.
Something.
You could have made Jak Extreme Racing or something like that.
Twisted Metal. I mean, shit.
Well, it sounded like at one point at least they were trying to make a Twisted Metal, which I'm sure would have been a live service thing. I wonder if that is still in the works. I don't feel like I've heard any rumors about it as of late, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised to see some sort of announcement around the same time as a season 2 of the television show drops, because like, not only is that a long, like, dormant series at this point, but now you do have a at least mildly successful show that people are positive on, that maybe you want to capitalize on that brand and make that return. So I wonder if and where that is in development at. But that's one of those things, right? Like, we've talked about it in the past, but the issue that the games industry seems to be contending with right now is just out of proportion budgets, and they need to reevaluate what it takes to make a video game, and if that means smaller experiences for cheaper and shorter development cycles, that's probably something they need to experiment with. And I think something like a Twisted Metal would be a perfect game for that. A Twisted Metal game I could almost see being released as like a free-to-play early access thing. And if it does pick up traction with the popularity of the series and of the popularity of the show, if it's a good game, then yeah, you see it through to 1.0, and then you continue to support it from there, and you can sell cosmetics and whatnot for your ice cream mobile and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, that's disappointing. So yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I'm curious about this year. Like, we know maybe a couple games. I know maybe one game that will come out for Sony. The sequel. What's it called? The
Indiana Jones. No,
the Japanese
Josei Yotei.
Yeah.
That's
I can't think of another one. That's what I'm saying.
Did they
Like,
put a date on that that Naughty Dog game, or like a year rather? Shouldn't say date.
did it say 2025? Maybe it did say 2025. I don't know if it said 2025, but at least a year.
Heretic Prophet.
Like I can see it in my head, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just
Yeah.
It's just
Let's say Wiki.
it's gotta be, man, because I ain't doing nothing else. All they did was working on a fucking remake.
Naughty Dog announced alongside. Yeah, it doesn't look like there was a date on it at all.
Man, it should be this year. It's probably this. Like, what the fuck were y'all doing then?
Well,
Damn.
so that's the thing, right? Is like people were talking about like the at one point there was a Venom game in development. We know that from the Insomniac leaks. Like as a standalone, expand-alone kind of thing, like a Miles Morales size thing. But you know, that hasn't been announced yet. Last we've heard of Wolverine, like there was some concern around whether that would make it out this year or not.
Yeah, we ain't even heard it yet. Yeah.
So that would definitely be a pin in their cap if that game did come out this year. I mean, that's obviously something, and like you said, Ghost of Yotei would be coming out this year. And then
too bad it's a woman though, Daniel.
Third,
so I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, ruined, obviously. Yeah, so it's crazy time, Dominic. And yeah, and then this other news that we got this week is Ted Price, the president of Insomniac, is retiring.
What?
Yeah,
I remember Ted Price. I remember Ted Price seeing him.
Yep.
Like when Ratchet was like first made. Like that's why the first time I seen his face. Like because I didn't see nobody's face when Spyro and Naughty Dog was thing. But yeah, and I was like, oh, that's Ted Price. Yeah, and just like the Naughty, because Naughty Dog guy he's already been gone. But yeah, so Ted Price, yeah, darn, because he's still been there.
Yeah,
so, yeah, man, him retiring, man.
It's kind of crazy, but to think about that is like losing like this generation of leadership, right? Is like the guys that we, Cliffy B's already mostly out of the industry. Guys like that of that age that are a little older than us, but have been shepherding these companies for a while now.
Yeah,
seeing them move out of the industry. Also, like Ted Price seems like a guy we haven't really heard anything bad about. It's nice when you can kind of root for a guy, and that's part of why Insomniac always seemed like a nice studio to work for. You never really heard about the pressures like
Jaffe,
and stuff.
I just see him doing podcasts and stuff, but I think he's
mostly out of the games industry. It seems like, even with talks of a new Twisted Metal, it didn't seem like he was ever necessarily going to be involved with that.
Nah.
Yeah, it seems kind of crazy.
I'm just saying, man. Like, even though I think God of War, the latest God of War series, not God of War 1, but God of War PS4, even though that is like, it's a good game. It's a great game. Like, I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But like, if I was doing like a second God of War between all of them, it will still be the first one. At least be my second favorite one. Because that, I mean, just a straight up action game, and it was a story. The story was good. It was good. It was a good story, but the action was actually really great. While God of War, the new one, I mean, it's a nice. I mean, I like the action too. As far as those cinematic games. I actually do like the action in that. Really, I mean, I really like the action in that one, but it's just like the whole like you feeling like a god, and stuff. I mean, like you like feeling strong as shit,
yeah,
and something like that. It was something about that first game on PS2, that makes you feel that way.
Lost now. I mean
you don't have those games like that.
Yeah. That's part of the plot now is almost where they've humanized Kratos in these last
and that's fine.
games.
That is totally because I don't want them to do, because that's the whole thing was that by 3 it was like, okay, it's the same thing.
Right.
So and then he was just angry, like he was just super angry. Like you understood it. Now you're just like, God, man, you just fucking this you was gonna burn the world. Like destroy the world. But anyway, and I get that, but I'm just saying, like, you don't have those type of action games
Right.
like that.
Yeah,
Just
because
make you feel
everything
so
has
good.
been so like everything has become that game. Like we talked about when we were talking about Resident Evil 4 is like all of Sony's like top tier titles have effectively become that game, the over the shoulder kind of
Yeah.
this is dramatic, action
Or Dark Soulsy
character game.
Somebody
yeah.
does a Dark Soulsy game.
Yeah, so they don't have that. There needs to be more experimentation. There needs to be more diversity in the games. There needs to be
Yeah, and
okay.
the studios that do that, like, you gotta get these indie guys that try some things and
Yeah.
get something out there. Say, oh yeah, it's cool, but they don't get to everybody. And I mean, they don't need to sell a whole lot because it all depends on how much they spend,
Right.
making it. But thing is, sometimes I might not see a sequel or something too because it's like there's only one dude, and then I don't know what some of these guys do after they make those games. If I don't see a sequel. But it's like, darn, the studios that really can do it is the ones, the big ones. And like, y'all can take a chat and get like a couple people to do something there. And because y'all can afford to lose money.
Yeah.
But y'all don't.
EA will tell you otherwise after Dead Space
Yeah.
and Mirror's Edge.
I just think it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's just, I don't know. It gotta be some money mismanagement. I was like, dude, you should, like, I don't know what you were spending on that. Like, maybe you were spending too much on that, but I was like, dude, all the money you get from those sports games, man, you should have set like a chess or something, man.
Well, I think I was just reading something where somebody mentioned that like the EA Sports games are spun out from EA or something like that now. So technically those profits that EA Sports might be making are not reflected as, an EA thing necessarily. And obviously, like, it's still one company. It's not like EA Sports is being traded on the stock market. But, if I'm head EA guy and I'm looking at, divisions and I'm going, well, our sports games are making all of this.
Yeah,
And our
okay,
regular
yeah,
video games
yeah.
aren't making anything. They're losing us money. Well, I'm not necessarily going to take money from the sports game division and try and bolster up the video game division because the shareholders are going to be like, where's all our profits going? And that's the thing is like, it feels like we do need these companies to do the experimentation, right? Like we want that, but we also need them to realize that when you experiment with something, it doesn't need to come out as a $10 million thing. I don't need you to experiment. I don't need you to put all your cards on the table. I just need you to flip over one ace. That's all I need is for you to come out with a solid game that has an interesting concept that maybe then I will want to give you more money to make that sequel for, And instead right now we got a video games industry where I didn't put it on here. If we had less news, I think I maybe would have, but there's like analysts out there now going like, we hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 will launch at $100 so that these other game companies
Oh my God,
can then
I
raise
am tired.
their prices to $80 to save the industry.
Like,
And it's
where does
like,
this come from?
That's
Who started this? Like, how does it start?
analysts, people that are focused on the money aspect of these games and not the creative endeavors. And it's like, yeah, like let's, well, I think honestly it did in their defense, because they're probably not even that smart. In their defense, I think it started with like the head of Rockstar or 2K, I think, saying that like, movies are this much for this many hours of content, and if you
they're still using that same old argument.
yeah,
Okay.
if you factor in how much content is in a Grand Theft Auto game, then technically it should be $10,000 or whatever.
Okay, then go ahead and charge it then.
Yep, and see what happens. And that's the realities, right? Like Grand Theft Auto, you could release at $100 and people would still buy it. But
Yes.
then when Ubisoft tries to sell an Assassin's Creed game for $80, that's not going to work out for them.
No.
That is not going to help them sell that game. We already know that game's going to be $10 on the next Steam sale. We will wait it out. Maybe it's the Steam sale after the next Steam sale. If it's $80, it's got to hit like $40 first and then go. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to buy that game at that price. You need to figure out what you're doing internally to lower costs to bring your games down. Now, it's a dangerous game I'm playing by saying that, right? Because we know how they would like to cut costs, by cutting employees, by cutting staff. And they can do that, or they think they can do that, by implementing AI. And I think that is the sad reality that we're going to face before any of these companies are willing to make the concessions that they need to look inwards to make the realignment happen before a crash. If we do, go in that direction. It's hard to say that the video game industry is going to crash. I don't know what it looked like in the 80s before, in that transition. So like maybe it looks exactly the same. Maybe it doesn't look anything like that. Video games are a very popular medium right now. You have your Fortnites, you have your Roblox. But those are such outliers, and we are starting to see even the biggest of publishers, your Ubisofts. I mean, we already lost Activision Blizzard. We lost like a Bethesda.
They were huge, man. I never thought that.
Yeah.
I thought Ubisoft be gone before Activision.
It's very easy to see a world where, and this was one of my predictions, something is going to happen with Ubisoft this year, whether it ends up being like technically a partnership where they start working with like a Tencent or something like that, or they just get sucked up into another one of these conglomerations. We're gonna lose more before we gain. We can look at a world where like a Warner Brothers and an EA become one company. And maybe mark my words for that one. It doesn't seem like Warner Brothers is necessarily that interested in video games. So maybe like the Warner Brothers games division gets, sucked up by EA or something instead. But I would not be surprised if, Ubisoft goes away this year and in 5 years EA is struggling to compete. I mean, and that one's a little harder because they do have the cash cow that is their sports division, right? Like I'm sure the football games still sell well around the world. Sorry, the football games, the soccer games. I'm sure, college football was the best-selling game of last year. So like they've got that going for them in America as well. So maybe that covers all their bases. But like, if that's the case, what does EA become? Does it just become a publisher for sports games exclusively? Or do we have them still trying to use some of the pennies out of that purse to make other more creative endeavors? I don't know. But it feels like if we continue down this path, they will happily, rest on their laurels and just continue to put out sports game after sports game until people realize that is also not necessarily what they want.
Yeah, man, that is not. Yeah, the game's going to $100. You know what? I'll just be like, I'm out. I just be getting games like they're super on sale. Man, that's what it is. It's like,
just go back and revisit all the games from past generations that you wanted to. PS4 emulation is getting there, Dominic. Like, well, we can just go back now. Back to the future. All right. Speaking of the future, Dominic, we did have the Xbox Developer Direct on January 23rd, just a couple of days ago as of recording. And it was announced that it was going to include South of Midnight, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, and Doom the Dark Ages, as well as one secret project. They kicked the show off with that project, which was Ninja Gaiden 4, which is being developed by both Team Ninja and Platinum Games.
Wow.
Yeah, and being published by Microsoft. And that is coming out in fall of this year. allegedly. They had a trailer for that. It looks good.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't dubbed. They were
Yes,
speaking
it was all
their native
subs.
language, Japanese, and I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying. So what did they talk about?
Just basically like this is a classic action adventure series that everybody wanted to see, and we're bringing it back, and we're working with Platinum Games to make it a good game.
Okay.
Just kind of generic stuff like that. Talked about you're not going to play as Ryu Hazuki. Is that what the ninja's name is? You're playing as a younger character who is in a rival
I call
clan.
him Ryu.
Ryu.
That's how I used to pronounce it.
It seems like that's a new thing, a new twist on the series.
Oh, wait, what's the twist again?
Just that you're playing as this younger, not the same character that you have been. You're playing as this younger ninja, and it seems like the previous antagonist or previous protagonist might be the antagonist of this series.
See, I didn't get none of that, Daniel, because of the. Why can they dub it? I can't read.
So yeah, there's been a lot made. What I've seen recently of people talking about this, of like what Platinum Games actually is right now, because we've seen departures from Platinum Games. You know, we heard after that live service game that they tried doing that, you know, shut down within a year of its launch.
What was that game called?
I want to say Heavenly
Xbox,
Sword,
right?
but it's not Heavenly Sword, not Heavenly Bodies. Let's see, Platinum Games.
Yeah, was that a game like before they got bought by Microsoft they were making, or what? Because I was like, what the hell is this?
Not Ninja Theory. I made the same confusion.
Oh, I'm thinking about Ninja Theory. Oh, okay.
You're thinking of the people that put out the Awakening, Senua's saga. Yeah, I was thinking they were the same people for some reason too. But yeah, they so I don't know what Team Ninja's been doing, honestly. I think they did also make that an Xbox thing, didn't they? Team Ninja. Let's see what they were doing. Oh, they did the Wo Long Fallen Dynasty game. Okay, Strangers in Paradise. Oh, they made the Final Fantasy Strangers in Paradise game.
Oh, no, not Ninja Theory. I wasn't thinking about Ninja Theory then, because they didn't make the game I was talking about.
No, this is Team Ninja. They made those games, and then Ninja Theory is the one that made like Journey to the West and all those.
Yeah.
Also made DMC and Enslaved. Those were the two I was confusing too. So yeah, but Platinum had the game that failed, and they kind of got gutted a bit, it sounded like, after that, because they were working with Square Enix on that one. I can't believe I can't find live service. The name of this freaking game. We'll focus after Babylon's Fall. That's what it was. Babylon's Fall. That game fell immediately. And then, of course, they did have challenges with Bayonetta 3, but like I imagine Nintendo footed the bill for quite a bit of that. So, but people were very worried about them. So there's still concern that, like, because there were kind of two Platinums. You know, there was your like Transformers Ninja Turtle Platinum.
Scalebound. They were working on Scalebound too. You remember that guy?
Yeah. And then there was, you know, the good Platinums, the Bayonetta's Platinums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this game does look good. I mean, it also looks like a Ninja Gaiden game. For me, those games were always kind of too hard. But I did try and put some time into, I can't remember which one I spent more time with. I think it was probably 2, because it was like a Xbox free game or something like that at one point. But yeah, this looks cool. And then after that, they announced that they were releasing a Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, like up-resing HD remake thing made on Unreal Engine 5 that is out now, and it is on Game Pass as well. I started downloading that. before we started recording the podcast. So I'm going to try and check that out. And this is like what we were talking about as far as like economy of scale and like where you put your money, right? Like they probably did this as like an experiment so that they could then make Ninja Gaiden 4 on Unreal, right? So like it probably didn't cost them that much money to make Ninja Gaiden 2 Black HD, but like that's a goodwill thing for people that have Game Pass. It's also something that, you know, people on PC can buy. So I like
PlayStation got it too, right?
Yeah, I think PlayStation also has it because it's down here on my new releases. And like that's also a game I would not be surprised entirely if you ended up seeing it show up on the Switch too eventually. And we'll get there. So yeah, like utilize your resources and make smart business maneuvers. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but companies. Anyway, so we had that. That looked really cool. After that, they showed South of Midnight, which still looks really cool. That's launching on April 8th.
I'm more interested in this game than ever now. Like after watching that, like I'm really interested. I would want to get my hands on that. That seems like a good story and everything. Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, straight up third-person action adventure game. Like I'm here for it. I like that style stuff, and that's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, the art style too. Yeah,
I like the art style. I'm not in love with the animation of her being, you know, like the Spider-Man movie where it's
like the frame, slower. Like the frame rate of the movement.
And I don't hate it or anything. I think it's a cool aesthetic, but I don't know if I want to play it like that. So
I'm
on
wondering. PC, and there should be a mod for it.
I feel like something like that you have to just make an option in the game as well, because I could see that making people sick, honestly, with the way it disconnects from the world around it. So I can see
people, Daniel. I mean, you're not going to make it through this
accessibility, Dominic. They need to get the.
You're not going to make it through this 4 years, and you're going to be this weak, Daniel.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to make it through these 4 years. All right. Next was Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We'd previously seen this game.
Yeah, I got to remember. What is Clair Obscur? Is this the author?
I am still not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I think I even looked it up somewhat recently.
Make it a whole lot easier. Just call it Expedition 33.
Yes, and we will, because like whatever that is. That's launching April 24th. I know you had mentioned in your text messages, like, man, that's like back to back with South of Midnight.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're just hoping that it's, you know, kind of two different enough audiences that like they'll get people to download it on Game Pass or whatever they need to make money off of it, but not necessarily like cannibalize themselves.
Like, are these games short?
Yeah. And I'm also wondering if that means they're pretty confident about what they've got for later in the year, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not confident in either of these, Dominic. Oh, no.
They're confident on those PS5 sales. That's what they are.
Yeah. Now,
are these coming on the same time as Steam, I wonder, too?
That's a good question. I don't know about Steam. You know, they do mention here on the Xbox website that it's on the Xbox app for PC, but I don't know.
You know how people hate to open other apps, man.
Yeah. Now, Ninja Gaiden does say Steam. Expedition 33 does not. South of Midnight does mention Steam specifically.
Oh, okay.
And so does Doom the Dark Ages, which we'll get to. But Expedition 33, this seems like it's probably more up your alley than it is mine. I've seen some people like on Giant Bomb describe it as French Persona. Did you get that kind of vibe from it?
Oh, I just got an RPG vibe.
Okay.
I don't know about
regular
French
general.
Persona, nah.
But it looks good to you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I definitely want to play it. I mean, Darren, this is crazy that Avowed is coming out next month.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that game, too. Jeez. Yeah, they're putting a lot of what they have at the beginning of this year. So
They
hopefully that means they've
now
got more.
because they finally got the shit done, but unfortunately, all done at the same time.
Yeah.
couldn't spread it out.
They're like, we can't keep these on the books any longer. They got to come out in the first quarter of this year. Yeah, this is an incredible looking game, though. Like visually, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, yeah, like the yeah, it's more of like that European style. It's a game that came out recently. The guys who did Technomancer, it came out after that. Yeah, the Cthulhu, and I mean, it got that look, but it just but it's an RPG thing. Because I don't think it's is it Macabre? I don't think it's Macabre. I gotta look at it again. I didn't notice that. But
nah, I didn't necessarily see that. It definitely has, like, you can look at the game and go, yeah, this was developed in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
It's so funny that it's so easy to see the difference between like European and American developed games a lot of times.
God, what games are developed here?
Naughty Dog games. Bethesda
games too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insomniac's here though. Yeah, Insomniac
games. Ironically enough, a lot of Sony's games are now developed over here and not in Japan.
Oh, Doom! Well, I'm thinking more of like, well, not first person shooters. Yeah. Because where's the Coalition at? Coalition's here.
Coalition, I want to say, is in Canada, but might actually be like northern New York or something like
Epic,
that.
Where was Epic at? Epic was here, wasn't it?
Epic is down in North Carolina.
Yeah. So
they're down there with
Coalition. The Cliffy B. So Cliffy B. He stood around that area.
Yeah, he's still down there.
No. I know he's still down. I'm saying he stayed in that area. Like, yeah.
Insomniac's down there. Epic's down there. Coalition.
It's a lot of land down there.
The Coalition. Let's see if they just say somewhere on their website down at the bottom. No, they don't. Careers. I guess I should say location. They are in Vancouver because they are formerly Black Tusk Studios, which I think wasn't that the one that did the big monster game? Black Tusk.
Yes. No. No, that wasn't them. That wasn't them. No. Black Tusk was just a name they used.
Okay.
I don't think they make any game.
Yeah, Black Tusk was just, because it was with 2K, right, that made that monster. Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about, the Left 4 Dead style.
Yeah, like this game.
Evolve.
Yeah, I'm looking at Expedition. Yeah, Evolve. I know you're talking. Yeah. The Expedition 33. Yeah, it kind of looks like a better version of whatever the hell that game was called by Amazon that made the first one they made. Like that looks like it's up close, and it's like an up close version of that.
It's going to be better. Greedfall. That's the game I think you were thinking of.
Yeah.
The
Greedfall,
spiders people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that looks pretty cool. And then they finished off the show with Doom: The Dark Ages, which is going to be launching May 15th.
Or Order 1866. Or whatever it's called.
Yes. Yep. Jeez, it's a long gone.
It's like, but nah, this is like more of an action RPG. That was like a
that was just a Sony specialty. Yep. Yeah, so Doom: The Dark Ages, despite the fact that it feels kind of hokey as like, oh, you're the Doom guy, but you're going to go back to medieval times, it looks pretty freaking sweet.
You still got guns. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what are you going to do? Use a crossbow?
You still got guns. Now you got a cool shield with a chainsaw looking thing around it.
That was pretty cool.
They're like, well, Gears is going to take the chainsaw away from you, so we got to put a chainsaw on something. Let's put it on this. And you've got a mech, Dominic. Your Doom Guide, you getting a mech.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, you fight the giant demon.
Oh, and then you also fly on a flying demon
dragon
ship. Yeah, dragon.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this game. I hope it turns out.
It looks like a fun Doom game. Yeah, exactly. And, oh, yeah, we didn't talk about on the Claire Obscure at the end. Well, not at the end, but in the video, looked like you flying turkey or something like that. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck that shit was. And it's like you can get in the water, then you can fly up and flutter. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, what the hell are you doing? And all these games are going to come on PlayStation also.
Yes,
console war is over. So Sony has won.
Yeah. And again, what did they win?
Yeah.
Is this what winning looks like? Yeah. So Doom looks awesome.
Oh, like what did we win? But I should say
we haven't won. Yeah, we're definitely doing worse than the company is. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to from Xbox. Hopefully that means by the time these games have all come out and are hopefully successful, we then get a presentation around the time that we would get, an E3 style thing. And Xbox has even more to show off this year. That would be a big boon for them. I mean, obviously it's not going to win them the console generation. It's too late at this point, but it does give us as paying customers to Game Pass something to actually be excited about, which is really all I want. Is something to something exchange for the money that I've been giving.
As
them.
they still just trickle freaking Activision games, and I think I heard that the next game next month, Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about Tom, which is that's a good title. It's about Tom. Like that should have been out.
It was a great title for when that game released, and it's a great title for this finally coming to Game Pass.
Like, man, it just need to be more. God darn. It's like, what are you doing? All right, man. So yeah, that show was good overall. I mean, it showed 4 games that I'm really interested in. I mean, Ninja Gaiden, I'm not like a huge fan on, only because, like I said, it was hard. Maybe they heard my cries and they're gonna put an easy mode.
I find that Platinum games are usually more accessible than what Team Ninja was doing with those games. So hopefully they don't, just try and shame you by calling you a ninja dog if you want to play the game in a way that's not just completely punishing.
Which is funny because, I just think that's a comment, ninja dog. You're a dog, man. You got that dog in you. Got that dog in you.
I'm glad to see that they're moving in the direction of a Platinum game for this instead of a Dark Souls game, because I could very much see a reality where Team Ninja's evolution of the Ninja Gaiden series is into something as punishing as a Dark Souls
and then
style.
It's not Ninja then anymore. Shit. I mean, because it's bad if you're not hot and like Tenchu or something like that. But I mean, I don't want that. But I'm just saying, if you want to be a real ninja, it's you don't make it a freaking Dark Souls game. You better make it cool, fast. Hitting, dodging fast, not no slow. They dodge and then gotta block and stuff. No, man. Quick dodges and stuff like that and fast. Or you make it stealth. It's one or the other. We're ninjas.
Yep. All right, Dominic. And then we have what would have been the biggest news from last week. The Switch 2 is officially a thing. Nintendo has finally acknowledged that this is a console. They showed it to us, and that was basically just about it. They showed it to us. They showed us a very little bit of a new Mario Kart, which I only knew was a new Mario Kart because people said, hey, that's a new Mario Kart.
And that's the only reason I knew too, Daniel. Because I was like, Mario Kart already looks good, and
I was like, are they just showing me Mario Kart, or are they
That's what I
showing
was
the backwards
thinking. And it kind
compatibility?
of killed my Mario thing. I should have included Mario Kart in my predictions. Because now I'm like, they ain't gonna release a Mario game with the Mario Kart. I say shit. That's what I was hoping. It's like, oh, I hope there's a new Mario Kart. I hope that's just the same one.
He just drives a car in this Mario game now.
So yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess all right. So we see, it was a bigger screen. I mean, it seemed like everybody. We pretty much kind of knew what it was going to look like.
Yeah, if you had followed any of the leaks at all, this looks like those leaks. Those leaks were accurate.
But now it's just that you don't slide and snap the controllers in. You actually just push them in.
Yeah, it seems like it's actually like a pivot, because from what I've seen from I think they had an additional short thing. There's like a little thing that sticks up in the bottom of the interior of the controller, and then a hole or a latching point in the bottom of the actual Joy-Con. So you slide the bottom in first, and then you pivot the top up to then lock it into place. That's what it seems like they're going for, which I think is a good idea, because if the whole magnetism thing is the idea of how these things hold together, I'm very interested to see how that works. I assume they've got to be some sort of electromagnets, which is why you have a button on the back to release it, because otherwise, there's no way you can put a magnet strong enough in there to hold it in there whilst also being weak enough for you to detach it without having too much trouble, right?
Yeah. I didn't even think about magnets.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah, that's been the whole, that's what everybody's saying.
I heard what the people said.
Rumors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hall effect sensors for the stick. So theoretically, stick drift is going to be not a deal anymore. Now, one of the features that people have been speculating about since the leaks, the real serious leaks of these past couple of months, and they did not specifically say, but kind of allude to in this trailer, it looks like there is an IR sensor on what would be the top rail between the two side top buttons of the Joy-Con controller, and then you would use that as a mouse. I think that's actually really clever if they end up doing that, because
I don't know how that feels though. I'm holding my Switch.
So I was gonna say, I tried that while my daughter was playing Switch last weekend, and I was like, this actually kind of works as with this controller. So if they designed it even more slightly with this in mind,
this is the first time me trying it, and I guess it can work.
Yeah, because you even have two buttons there. You have your shoulder and then your trigger button. So you even have a left and a right mouse click button. You obviously have face buttons that you could also utilize as different things if you wanted to go that far. So obviously, depending on what games utilize it, but if they did release a Doom and wanted to utilize that, I think that could be a really cool way to play Doom Dark Ages if you are someone that doesn't own a PC and are exclusive to the Nintendo ecosystem. I don't know, if they then give us a Mario
But how
Paint.
would you?
How would I?
What you use for the keyboard?
It would effectively be the other stick. You would be moving with your left stick.
Oh.
You still have two shoulder buttons there, and then you have a D-pad, or the four buttons, I guess, on the Switch for doing a menu radius type thing. That's what I would imagine. This feels like one of those things that Nintendo
you don't just
will
race
use
them
in a
like they
couple
did in
of
the
games.
video, you had them.
I mean, so here's what I was thinking also, as after having seen that, I wonder if they would do something as crazy as, in Mario Kart, I'm racing by racing my controller around as if I were a child playing cars. Like, could they be crazy enough to think that might work? I think that's maybe a little far fetched. But I do wonder. You would have to think that as one of their tentpole launch titles in Mario Kart, assuming that's what it is, that it would maybe want to utilize this feature, this gimmick. Maybe that means we get like a course creator. That would be interesting. I've seen a lot of people speculate that like this could mean the return of like a Mario Maker, or the addition of maker modes into a lot of other games.
Because they took away that feature, and that just ruined it for me.
So there wasn't really much more to it than that. It's a bigger screen. It's a more powerful Switch. A lot of the rumors speak to like a lot of DLSS style rendering, which would allow the Switch 2 to play more recent games whilst also keeping them looking somewhat relevant despite older hardware.
I'm curious. I'm really curious about seeing that. And I know like those games, man, they're gonna probably put some older games out that couldn't be played on the Switch. And
I've heard a lot of rumors about Red Dead
at full price.
So absolutely full price.
And luckily third parties they do come down in price. So I'll just wait if I was to get this. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like as cool as this thing looks and everything, I just don't know if I'm getting it. I don't know if I'm getting this. I just think like, because I can't right now, it's like I can't do it because I can't play $60 for this and then the other games I want for that. Like the other games that come on Xbox and PS5 and PC. It's
especially because one of the things much. They didn't say. I mean, they didn't say a release date. They didn't say a price. And now,
I don't know price of console. But I know their games.
Yeah,
I know their games,
and that's the problem, right? Is like the upfront cost of the console, but then, like you said, the cost of those games, and with Nintendo games,
be 70, right?
They just aren't coming down 100%, right? Like 100%.
Zelda was the start. Zelda was the start.
And like you said, with the third party games, like we'll see like a Assassin's Creed Mirage, probably maybe even somewhere down the lines in Assassin's Creed Shadows, if the juice is worth the squeeze. But those games will absolutely go down quickly. Now, if we're talking about like a Red Dead 2, I could see that staying pretty high for a while.
Rockstar, I mean, they do go down, but they don't not as fast as the others.
Nah, not at all. And they don't stay there, they
don't stay there.
Bounce right back
Grand Theft,
up.
because Grand Theft Auto 5 goes back out to damn 60.
Yeah. Aesthetically, what do you think of this thing, Dominic? It's the dark gray with the blue and the orange and the blue accents this time around. I think it's relatively subtle. It's not.
Yeah. I think it looks all right.
Yeah.
Like the console house, it looks all right. I mean, I was kind of hoping something. I mean, like the feel of it, because. Does that mean we still got to get still another thing? What's the thing I call like to make the controller feel better in my hands?
Oh, I'm already fiddling with the idea of getting like one of those Satisfy grips 100% because they've already got them on pre-order. But I'm like, am I stupid to pre-order this when I can't even pre-order the console yet? Yes, I would be. So 100%. There's no way that this thing feels as good as you would maybe want to in your hands. Does it feel better? I'm thinking yes. I think it's can't think of the word, but I think it will definitely feel better in the hands, just for us at least, because it's bigger. It's going to be a little chunkier, I think. But I still think it's going to be a step down from holding a controller or maybe even like a Steam Deck. because I still looks like it's going to be a lot flatter than a Steam Deck, whereas the Steam Deck has ergonomics in mind, with the back kind of jutting out a little bit more.
And now, so what other things they showed? Because at the top, I saw a Kinect.
Yeah, it's got 2 USB-C ports on it,
Two
one on the
USB,
top
yeah.
and one on the bottom. That's cool.
Yeah. They did have a headphone thing, right?
It did have a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Yep. It had a headphone jack. It's got
That's so crazy that this one didn't
stand on it. Which one?
No, this did. I want to go have Bluetooth. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it didn't have Bluetooth originally. They did eventually patch that in. So I would imagine it's got to have Bluetooth from jump. I say that, but it's all but confirmed through the leaks that this is going to be an LCD screen and not an OLED screen, which is just like,
oh my god,
so Nintendo, because they are absolutely going to shove that thing out with an OLED screen. Like, that's the only thing that makes me apprehensive about this thing, is just knowing that like a year and a half I'm going to be upset that I don't have that version instead of this version.
That is. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, I mean, in the bright side of things, I never got a Switch OLED. So like, I'm going from an LCD screen to an LCD screen. So I'm not downgrading my experience per se,
no.
But at the same time, knowing how much people praise that OLED screen and having experienced, from like the Vita, how nice a good OLED screen is. Jealous, Dominic. Jealous. Yeah, the kickstand is better than the original. Obviously, it is not like the full half of the back. It's now like a U-shaped thing. As long as it works, it's fine. I don't care. It seems like it's got a nice wide range of motion. So you can do that, like almost lay it down on the table, but have it propped up at an angle a little bit, all the way through to a standing all the way up type thing. Yeah, and there's a lot of talk about, like, there's inside the Joy-Con connection point, there's like a little board sticking out where it's making the interface electronically with the Joy-Con controllers, and people are concerned that that's going to break off. I can see why people would say that, but it seems like with as deep as these controllers go into that, I doubt that that's going to be an issue. I am a little surprised that that's the style of interface they went with, because like even with the Joy-Cons, like it's basically a flat thing meeting a flat thing to make that electrical connection, and I don't see why they couldn't make a very similar connection, especially if what they're doing is that like pivot style connection that I talked about. So
yeah,
I'm sure the people that designed this console thought about that aspect of it, so I'm not too concerned about that. The Joy-Con drift thing feels like them just cheaping out on parts, where this would feel like a major like design mistake if that were to be the case. I'm sure there would be plenty of people that will stupidly like purposefully break them, or do things that most people would normally do and be like, hey, here's my YouTube video that I'm gonna get so many clicks on because my Switch broke. But I think in a real world context, I don't think that's something we hopefully have to worry about too much. But it's real now, Dominic, and on April 2nd, we will see more about that. That is when they are going to do a Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2, so that's hopefully when we will see more games, hopefully pricing, and a release date. They are also doing live Nintendo experiences from all the way through June around the world, including like New York and Los Angeles and stuff like that. Unfortunately, nowhere closer here than New York, seemingly. So I really hope that doesn't necessarily mean that this system doesn't come out in that time frame. But it kind of feels like that means it wouldn't necessarily. Most of the later dates are in other countries. I want to say like the last one that's not even announced is in like Taiwan or something like that. So maybe it could release over here after that New York and LA date and then still, not be out in other countries. And then they experience that later. Cause if it's not out by June, I would say that we're not seeing it until like late August, September timeframe. June and July just don't really seem. I say that, but I'm pretty sure like the Game Boy Advance launched in June or something like that. But who knows at this point? We'll see. We'll see what Nintendo has to say. We're already waiting from January, like whatever it was, mid-January to April 2nd to find out, hopefully, the price and the release date. I'm hoping that they don't push either of those details out any further, at least, even if it is a fall release date. They just tell us up front and say, hey, this is what you're going to get then. So yeah, any more Switch 2 thoughts, Dominic?
Nah, man. I mean, yeah, I just want to know. I guess I have to wait till April to see like games and like what's the power behind it, things of nature. Like what? Yeah.
Unless these leaks continue to be as prevalent.
Well, I mean, they at least, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll just tell me then, I guess. Yeah, but yeah. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, it's about time. They got it, and now like maybe we finally get the console we really want because hey, thing is, it's funny. The Switch they can catch up to the current stuff because they haven't really advanced
because they actually have games that they could release.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, graphically, shit hasn't advanced that much. I mean, you can talk about ray tracing and all that shit, but nobody fucking cares. Not enough people fucking care about that. But yeah, but obviously because they would just get a Switch because they wouldn't care about a Switch then. But yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, because it's like I can finally get the games that that can run well. Yeah, I just want to know, Ken. Yeah, will it make the games that we already have run better?
That's
like, I hope they make. I hope they
sure
make
so.
it do.
Yeah, that is one thing they did include in the trailer that they said, backwards compatible. Besides a select few, which most people are speculating would be like the Labo type stuff. Now, it doesn't seem like it necessarily has an IR sensor on the bottom of the controller like the first Switch does. So that might also limit the ability to use those games. I'd also like to know if I can pair original Joy-Cons to the new Switch.
You think it's the same size?
Not like put them together, but like just Bluetooth controller in case I want to use those. Like, let's say I don't want to buy more controllers. I just want,
Exactly. Do I have to buy a Switch? They're going to make it so I have to buy a
Switch 2 Pro controller. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. They do that. My God. That'd be such a dick move. They can't do that. I'm sure they're going to make one. Like, they say, hey, this is a little better.
Yeah, of course.
But they should not make it so, like, oh, this one can't work.
So, all right. We live in a post-Switch 2 world now, Dominic. Now,
it hasn't released, Daniel, and because we don't know, some things can happen that we can't get it over here.
It's very possible. Oh my God, Dominic, it's very possible. But if that happens, it's because we'll
don't count
have
your roost before the chicken, Daniel.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Dominic. On to new releases. Then we did have a couple of new releases so far this year. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is now out on the Nintendo Switch.
This is ridiculous. I don't even care what this game looks like. I know some people complain about the hair, and that is awful. That should be enough to say $60. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep, that's rough. That's a hard pill to swallow.
So the first one even had hair?
I have not seen this hair discourse, so I'm not totally sure what
So
you're
they're
talking
saying
about there.
he didn't have hair. Like they say, oh, I don't see the hair on the Donkey Kong, and I was like, oh, the first one did, or was it? I said, damn, that's fucked up if that's true. But still, $60, man. Nintendo can eat some shit with that, man. That
From
is
Game
ridiculous.
Explained, DK's missing FX hair FX saga continues.
You paying a full price, and you paying more. You're paying more for this game than it came out for.
Yeah. So many years ago. All right,
Like,
Dominic.
what else is it adding? Hold on, I still don't,
I don't
get it.
think
What
it's
is it
adding
adding?
anything. That's the problem. Like, there's not even a
fucking
Funky
hell.
Kong mode in this one, I don't think.
Like, first of all, this should have came out at the same time as the Frozone, whatever the fuck shit was called.
Tropical
and,
Freeze.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze. And maybe both of those come out at $50. Like as a 2-pack.
Yeah.
That's the most I'll give them on that game. Because even then, I'm thinking still 40. But man, that's ridiculous. $60 fucking dollars.
Yeah. I'm seeing people in the YouTube comments talking about AI upscaling of the cutscenes. I'm not gonna take too much credence into that without looking into it. But
Wait a minute, okay, the AI. Okay, so is that a bad thing? AI upscaling?
I mean, the reality.
That's a human job. A human job. That's a human job.
That's it. Yeah, that's a human job. Somebody should have done pixel reanalysis. They do say and poorly at that. So, if it's poor AI upscaling, I've seen some good AI upscaling.
So what is the stance here? Are we for no AI? Or
I am for AI improving people's jobs.
So the people have to
I'm
lose
not
the
for
job.
AI taking people's jobs.
Taking the jobs, yes.
Is that a stance
That's
we can
improving.
get behind, Dominic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get behind that. Like, yeah. And but the thing is, I want AI for voices. I want them for voice acting when there isn't no voice acting.
So here's the thing. Now we can look at that two different ways because I don't necessarily disagree with you there. We can look at it as though the game company should implement that, or we can look at that as in the game gets released without it, and then I can either use a mod or something, part of the accessibility features of the console can then allow me to do that.
Oh man,
like
it's gonna be that robot voice.
Like a screen reader, but better, right?
But screen readers have gotten good. Yeah, they gotten good. But it's just, yeah, you know what? Because that's what I did with Pentiment. I did it with their implemented screen reader, and that's the only game I know that does that.
Yeah.
Like except for games that have voices. And I'm like, I don't need you to say everything. You already got, I don't need you to read everything because that's what it does. It reads everything. But I'm like, it's enough reading. I can get past that other stuff they read.
Yeah.
Nah, I need y'all to read this shit. I just think about like people who indie places where it'll be a lot out of the way to implement to get an actor to.
So that's what I worry about is like. I don't know. I don't want to speak myself into giving like a loophole, right? Is like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you would decide.
This company is only this many employees, therefore they can implement this.
Yeah,
because they clearly don't have the budget for this.
It would have to be all or nothing, and that's what it sucks.
Yeah,
because it's like,
and that's why I feel like you have to put it on the consumer side of things to allow us to make that decision.
But you know what, Daniel?
To do that,
you know what? There's not enough black voice actors anyway, so I don't care. Kill the job. Kill the job. Get those AI voices in there. Fuck it. We ain't heard that many black people. Only heard like 4 of them. Like Phil Lamar.
Yep.
And then again, I don't know. His name is like French, so I don't know how black he is.
Don't do that to Phil Lamar, Dominic. Don't do that to him.
But yeah, it's like, man, I just wish, I wish that somebody would make something that I can use That's like, hey, this is a program that will automatically put cool voices in your games, and or your anime if your anime don't hasn't been dubbed yet.
Yeah.
Or you don't like their voices. You don't like the people's voices. They were this voiceover. A better voice.
Yeah. So, AI is something I constantly worry about, Dominic.
I mean, I was always against like robots doing shit, like the whole Amazon store. Like,
Yeah.
I swear, like I'm gonna like, I'm gonna be a terrorist. Well, not terrorist. Well, they're gonna call me a terrorist, but I'm not gonna do what people in there. Even though I think it's 24 hours, I just have to. I'm just gonna scare people to get out. So get out of here. I'm gonna blow up the place. You know, and then it's like I'm just gonna go around destroying Amazon fresh stores.
Dominic, I implore you to not make this evidence.
Or I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be going around like breaking the registers, you know, where the automatic registers and stuff, like you do. I'm going around like just breaking them in different stores. Like, no, it's like go in the line. It's like go in the line. We say we need we need to keep these employees. All right.
Next up,
okay,
Dominic. Yeah, we got next up. We got Tales of Grace F remastered for the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. Are you familiar at all with the Tales of Grace series? I believe it's a Japanese RPG.
So this ain't the, like Tales of Vesperia and all that shit.
I don't. Maybe it's like a spin-off of that series.
I mean, because they all got different names.
Yeah. Let's see. It is. Where does it fall?
Yeah. The Tales.
It is part of that.
I played Tales of Arise.
Oh,
Tales of Arise.
Okay.
I played that one.
I did not realize
this is a
at all.
remaster of an old one, though.
Yeah. Okay. I did not realize this was part of that. I mean, it makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I heard Tales of Arise because that was really like different than those, so I liked it. Now the other ones, they look too Japanesey for me. Probably.
I mean, that's the thing, Dominic. Like Tales of Graces, Tales of Heart. Like, just listen to those names. I mean, Tales of Symphonia. Now we're talking. Give me words I understand.
I mean, I have to see. I hope this is a good story, but I hope it's just not cheesy. Because I mean, Tales of Arise was good. I mean, I actually liked it, and I always imagine these games cheesy, but maybe they just look like they could be cheesy, but they're not. Just the art style makes me think.
Yeah.
That
they're a little cutesy.
Oh, look, I watched this live playthrough of this girl playing this game.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. We also have Dynasty Warriors Origins, as you mentioned earlier, that's now out on PC, Xbox and PS5.
Oh, she knows what she was doing.
We also have Ninja Gaiden 2 Black HD that we mentioned, PS5, PC, Xbox, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is finally out now on PC, Dominic.
Sorry. I'm not laughing at that. I'm sorry. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth being finally on PC is that's great. And when I looked up there, I mean, most likely I probably would have played this game. I kind of wish I couldn't have just used the same like thing as the last game because I think I can play that. I can play the first one remake, but I won't be able to play this one. But it's also like 150 something gigs on the PC, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, goodness gracious! Oh man, I need a big hard drive. It was like
I need several big hard drives.
Yeah, I mean, that is ridiculous. I said, I don't have no space for that. Then again, I do have games up here that I don't play, but I'll just be like, what if I delete it? And then I'm like, oh, I want to play it.
What if I need
and then
this?
I got downloaded. Then I got downloaded again.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at this Simpsons tweet. Well, the Simpsons NFL, like they do clips from Simpsons and based on what happened in the NFL. They have the Jerry Jones choosing Brian Schottenheimer as the Cowboys coach, and they used the monorail show when he was like picking who who's going to be the conductor, and like he just point. He's not pointing at anybody. He's just saying like, you like he didn't have nobody in mind. He's like Homer's like me. Yeah, you. He's like, yeah. They just say like that's what the comics. They just picked anybody, and oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Let's see. Hey, Dominic, what's your blue sky?
Oh, yeah. Because I see you have blue sky up here. That's a good question, Daniel. I have to go
trying to find
to
it
my
over
phone.
Here, but I could not.
And I thought I had at least close to my name. What does the blue sky logo looks like?
Butterfly.
Damn, I gotta go over here, down here, because I got so much apps on the front. All right, how do you spell blue sky? You know what? I didn't do it on my phone. I did it on the computer. That's why I don't see it. All right, let me see. Blue sky, blue skies.
Because ironically, I created an account for the podcast like 2 weeks ago.
Blue sky.
And then now there are even more reasons to maybe avoid Twitter as much as possible. So figure maybe it's time to start advertising the blue sky.
I know it's going to get better, Daniel. Dino Man without an S, Daniel.
Okay, let's see.
Because since this is early, it was like, yes, nobody picked it. Nobody picked it this time. At DominicStarworth.com.
Oh, okay. Let's say Dino or blue sky first.
I mean, even though you can have the same names, but it's just that I was like, hey, I don't see nobody. Because it was just like a whole bunch of people with Dino Man.
There we go.
I mean, they had the same ad, of course, but I was like, nah, I'm the early one.
All right. That is that. We're going to have podcast follow that. And then we'll put that here. Dino Man and Dominic Stallworth.
Yeah, I didn't start coming up here because now, okay, so people are posting. Okay, because I follow Nintendo, so Nintendo's up here. Oh, nope, that's unofficial Nintendo. Everything's unofficial. So
are they not on there? I'm surprised that they're not on there. To be honest,
I mean, if they're up there, they were up there when I initially did it.
Yeah,
that's why I have the.
I mean, just typing
Nintendo.
In Nintendo, they don't come up first. They, like you said, the unofficial one does. So. Yeah, because a lot of the people that I used to follow on Twitter and still do, like Cheap Ass Gamer and Wario64 and stuff like that.
Come on, Daniel. They're libtards, so of course they came over here.
Anyway, all right. So we're gonna wrap this podcast up. As
I came up here before you did, so I'm an ultimate libtard.
Yep. As mentioned, you can follow us on Twitter. Dominic's at DStarworth5. I'm at Regular SMB.
Shinobi's up here. Or
Shinobi?
It could be a fake Shinobi. I don't know. It could be somebody saying like, I'll be Shinobi now.
Like the ninja Shinobi?
He's the guy he has. Huh? Shinobi is someone I follow on Twitter. He's the guy with the Newman.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I forgot about it. All right. So Superpod is the Twitter, also on Blue Sky, superpod.com or regularsmb.skysocial or Dino Man at Dominic Stallworth at Blue Sky Social, all that fun stuff. They do make their names a little more complicated than they need to be. So website superpod.com, check us out
your
there.
Your daughter's having a good time over
She
there,
is.
huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna end this and then go see what's going on out there. Superpod.com website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, iTunes, Amazon, all the things I might or might not have said. If there's an audio place for podcasts, we're probably there. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.